Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the LG Ultragear Apex Legends Invitationals. And honestly, I'm really excited for this one because the Streamer Invitational is something that we didn't have for a pretty long time. We had the Rise of Legion previously, where the pro players were all duking it off against one another. But now it's time for the streamers to step into the limelight once again and try and take each other on. This is going to be an intense battle. It's going to be your boy Aggressive as a host and caster, joined by none other than our crispy boy Krebs. How are you feeling about this one, man? It's been a while since we last casted Apex, and I'm really excited to get myself back into World's Edge to see what these teams are cooking up for us.
Oh yeah, definitely. The energy is at an all-time high. I'm pumped. I'm really excited. If you guys want your energy to be at all-time high as well, then go ahead and scan this QR code that's been flashing on your screen, and it's gonna be, coming now and then again and again. So you will have plenty of chances. Speaking of chances, last time Mackle was the one to take away this tournament. This time we have a lot of other contenders who have equally strong lineups. So I don't know who's gonna win. Honestly, I don't think I want to place my bets on any one of them either. I just want to sit back, relax, and see these guys slaughter each other.
Yeah, that is for sure. But at the same time, let's see which of these streamers are actually going to be playing as we go over to the streamer screen and see exactly who's going to be on the server. And right from the very top, it's going to be Ankita, Beg for Mercy, Scale Warrior, Bloodline, Hydraflick, Hirsch, Mackle, Meow 16K, Midfall, RakaZone, Raman Chopra, Arm Power, Robo, Shreeman, Sway, and of course TBone. All of these streamers are going to be on the server. All of these players are going to be trying to go on for something a little bit more spicy to try and take each other on here. But at the same time, we already know who's going to have the biggest impact overall on the server, considering their track record previously, primarily being Hydraflick and of course Mackle. These two have been tearing down every single one of the streamer invitationals that we have done for Apex, and I don't think they're going to be stopping here as well.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Not only are they really good players themselves, but they also have some really strong people in their lineup. We also have Beg for Mercy, who's got some of the best players in India inside his team. And same with Ankita. And I don't know between these four which one of them is going to come out stronger. Honestly, these are the four players that I will be keeping my eyes on. But of course, the other 12 people also have something or the other to prove.
It's going to be an interesting one to say the very least, because these streamers, they have a tendency of going in for plays that are very unorthodox. Sometimes the compositions are just not going to be as good as you would have expected, because they play much more based upon their comfortable strategies instead of going in for something that is based upon pure raw firepower, pure raw meta. Because normal meta is what we normally go see an Octane, we see in Gibraltar. Sometimes we see a Bloodhound, it's a Seer. Depending on a lot of the different situations, we can see them swapping in and out. But for the streamers, it could be very different. We could see Valkyries, we could see Revenants, something that's a little bit more for the ease of use rather than completely reliant on the meta and fast rushes. Of course, other than Mackle and Hydraflick, which we know for a fact they're going to be going for much more of those meta pickups. I really want to see if some of these spicy strategies coming on down from the streamers can work out in their favor. Have they really done their homework? Are they going to be pulling off something incredible? Maybe even a new strategy that we never even heard about, and possibly using a couple of unorthodox weaponry that they find on the ground. I'm really hoping for the bow, but at the same time, the bow is so garbage that I love it just because it's garbage. And sometimes I get really dirty shots with it.
Yeah, and the meta has changed to some extent. Like, there used to be this whole Revtane combo, Revenant Octane, and now Octane's jump pad has been nerfed a little, but let's be honest, that's not going to stop people from using it because it's still the most effective movement tool in the server. Gibraltar may or may not still be in the meta. A lot of people have started to pick up Caustic instead because he can trap everything and he's very effective for the late game circles. But then those guys can be interchanged with each other. People will still pick up Wraith if they're comfortable with it. I know there's this one player called Northern Breeze who loves playing Wraith, so you might see him as well. And these 16 players, honestly, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to their comfort zone. So whether or not they follow the meta is kind of irrelevant. But what will always be relevant is money. And there's a lot of money at stake over here
Oh,
in this
yeah.
tournament.
Yeah, when you consider the money here, ladies and gentlemen, look at all the zeros right on your screen. It's going to be a 3 lakh prize pool, ladies and gentlemen. And honestly, these streamers, they're going to be hungry for this one. If the stakes couldn't be any higher, just look at the prize pool in total. The first place gets 1,25,000. Second place gets 75,000. Third place gets 50. Fourth gets 25. Fifth gets 15,000. And the sixth place gets 10,000. even the sixth place amount is a lot of money to work with. And if you have any of these in your kit, it's gonna be a lot to work with as well. You could just get yourself an LG Ultragear monitor as well. A couple of these streamers could be looking into one because you can as well check all the links down below in the description if you want to get good deals on LG Ultragear products. You got you covered there, but at the same time, when you consider the price pool here, Crips, I think that the streamers they're gonna pull off something incredible because with stakes this high, you know for a fact that even if we were on the server, we would be tryharding our butts off.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're pretty sure that these guys are better than us, but then hey,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with hoping. Either way, with so much money on the line, I think a lot of these teams will not play their regular role, oh, just rush them and kill them kind of combo.
Yep.
I don't think they'll be that sweaty. Maybe they could play that game in the first two, just to see how the game is like, what the lobby is like, just to test the waters. But then later on, when we move on towards the third, fourth, and fifth game, I think teams will start playing a little more conservatively and they'll start putting more thought into their actions.
Yeah, the thing is that normally in Apex, we see the circles shrink down to pretty much a third or fourth circle, and then there's like 9 squads, 8 squads, 10 squads remaining in that tiny circle, and everyone just dies as soon as you snap a finger. Thanos snapped them out of existence, and then suddenly there's 2 squads left. Me and Trips are like sitting there being like,
Yeah,
how did everyone die?
yeah,
Explain. But
yeah.
at the same time, we cannot explain it. The audience back at home are confused as well. But sometimes the lobby goes down to the third circle and there's like only 3 squads remaining. And then we're also like, explain, where did everyone die here? That's kind of the thing here. In this Streamer Invitational, we don't know what to expect. In professional lobbies, we know for a fact that the lobby is going to be really small when it comes down to the very end circle. Sometimes it's going to be really large as well, with 9 squads remaining, 10 squads remaining. Other times it's going to be 5. But here it's a lot more random. We can't really predict how the thing is going to be ending up right at the very get go because the streamers will have a very comfortable spot that they always want to land on. Or they could also be going in for hot drops, trying to fight off against one another, trying to go in for kill points. It's not going to be as strategic as a professional level game, but it should be a little bit more strategic in the sense that the players are not going to be playing as their usual pub games, a little bit more different moving on down the line here because I don't know, Matt. Are you expecting these matches to be really long, really dragged out, or could it be something a little bit more systematic?
Systematic in the first game, not really. I think we will see a
Yeah.
little bit of very, very hyper-paced aggression. Maybe that's what the game is for the first two matches. But then later on, let's see. For now, the plane has taken off and all these teams, they're on their way to their respective drop locations. And let's take a look at where they go.
Ooh, they're going to be sitting down here, but there's an even spread all across the map from top all the way to the very bottom. But the side of Lava Fisher, it's going to see a good amount of people. Oh no, Skyhook as well. There are 4 squads. They're all just chilling up against one another, but there's already a squad fighting near the side of Landslide. And this Landslide flight could just make it or break it for a couple of one of these teams. Who's exactly fighting there? I can't see here, Crips, but
So, yeah. In Skyhook, there's Hydra Flick. There's also, I think, Sick Warrior and Lava Fisher. Another team at the north.
Oh.
But for now, this fight, that's the one on our screens right now. It's RakaZone, and he's got the Seer in his crosshairs. Knocks out Hyperion. Hulkbuster also taking a little bit of damage, but the Devotion, it just shreds. RakaZone's team, they seem to have knocked out 2 people. Just 1 more left. And will they be able to find this one last member? I think they will. Yep, that's it. Harsh Kilray's team has been eliminated right at the start.
yeah, that's gonna hurt. Parish is one of those streamers that just came onto the Streamer Invitational. If I do believe, he's not been seeing that much hype, and right at the very beginning, he gets taken out. That's gonna hurt him just a tiny little bit. He needs to go back, watch the stream in the background, and try and understand how these other players are playing, where they like to drop, how they like to drop as well, to get a little bit of an idea. But RakaZone, he's one of those players that we have seen on these Streamer Invitationals quite often. He always plays here, he always chilling, he's always vibing with his teammates, and he is now here for the win. After so many Streamer Invitationals, you would expect these streamers to put in the hours as well, knowing that, hey, it could just be another tournament. We could just get invited once again, and the prize pools are just getting bigger and bigger. So why not put in the practice as well to be the #1? So in
Yeah.
a way, I do believe that the competition is going to be higher than ever compared to any of the other invitationals that we had. Normally, we always used to look at players like Hydroflick and his squad, players like Mackle and his squad to just completely shred through the entire server, but I don't believe that's going to happen here. Not just yet. But at the
Yeah,
same time, the biggest question mark in my eyes, it's 15 squads remaining still. Everyone spread themselves out all over the map. This could just shape up to be like a professional level game.
could be. We've already seen two squads getting eliminated. Harsh and Shreeman Legends, both those squads have been eliminated. But now Hydra Flick have found their target. They were towards the west of the Skyhook area, and they must have definitely heard all the teams fight inside of staging. So they know that there are some teams in the vicinity. They can obviously make their way towards Countdown as well. But now that they've started fighting the teams inside of Countdown, all the other teams inside of Skyhook will be revealed, will be aware about their position. There were 3 teams in Skyhook. I don't know if they're still there in the city, but there could be a very good chance that they're just taking position and, preparing to take on Hydra Flick's team. Mackle on the other side. This guy is on the completely opposite end of the map. He's near a village, just next to Fragment, and he is also fighting another team. So there's 2 teams fighting 2 different squads at the same time. 4 squads in engagement, 1 in Skyhook, 1 in village, and on the edge of Fragment, it seems like Praj has found his next target. What a chase. They're trying to run them down into the tunnels.
Yeah, they're just gonna rush them down. When you consider Proj and his squad, yeah, these guys, they won it on the last Rise of Legion tournament here, ladies and gentlemen. So these are the contenders that you are really looking forward to see the most in comparison to any other. But at the same time, Mackle and his squad, they spotted out one of the squads. Who have they spotted out though, actually? Because they're taking a good chunk of damage and they're giving away so much real estate towards the side of Team Mackle, not only in the terms of map control, but also in the terms of shields. These guys are dealing so much damage, and this chip damage will add up more and more over time, causing a lot more issues. Northern Breeze, he's going to be throwing in a couple of grenades just to check their vibes,
Nice.
and a beautiful grenade onto one. A turbine is all connects. What is
All
this?
of them. All of them in trouble right now. Northern Breeze gets
Arm
down
Power.
Arm Power, and there's just 1 player remaining. They're chasing him to the ends of the earth, and they've found him just next to the tower. The 2 downed players over here. I think at this point, Team Mackle might start to just finish them off and not hunt the 3rd player because he's well and escaped. But nope, they won't. They find Salubai as well, and that's the 2nd squad that they have that they started to fight right now. So Arm Power is not the only person, not the only team that's in danger in this area.
There's another squad here close by, I personally do believe. Let's see what we can expect coming on down from this engagement, but not much. It's just yet. Because positionally, I would say that the side of Team Mackle, they're in a pretty good spot. They're right next to Skyhook. They have the positions on their side, but they can't get too complacent. They need to be careful. One team could just be right behind them as they're pushing on down into the zone, but they don't know that just yet. But at the same time, RakaZone, I think that they're going to be really happy. They have a really good position inside of the zone. They don't have to worry about anything. And a lot of the other teams, they need to walk straight into them. This is a high traffic zone in general whenever you want to go in for rotations into the circle. So they're just chilling. They're just vibing. Nothing's going to happen here. But at the same time, Trips, I want your thoughts. Right out the get-go, we saw a couple of fights happening. And when we looked at the compositions, we can see that, of course, Mackle and his squad are going to be running the usual compositions, but RakaZone is actually running 2 heavy-based characters, 2 very defensive characters, which could just make it or break it for them.
Exactly. I mean, if they keep on holding staging, and if the circle does move towards them, then that will be great. But now we have 2 Titans facing each other. Mackle, they're about to engage once again. And if I'm not wrong, then their next target isn't anywhere close to them. They still need to find them. I think they might be up against TBone's team.
Oh no.
And TBone, unfortunately, now, all of them are trapped inside one house, right? Mackle's team, on the other hand, are all over the place. Plus, Mackle's team, every single member has purple shields. TBone, on the other hand, himself is on white shields, 1 on blue and 1 on purple. So, yeah. At this point, Mackle doesn't even want to fight them. He just wants to run inside the zone, and he'll probably try to gatekeep TBone's team. And there you go. They're already on the fight, trying to pluck them off midair. But they won't be finding anything. Praj has been knocked out. And this knock came through via Sneezy's team. Okay. So this is the 3-3 extravaganza right now. And I think TBone's team might just be caught in the middle of them both. Meow 16K has arrived on the scene, and Sneezy is still near the arches. So this is a 4-team affair. Oh my goodness, things are starting to get really, really heated up. We knew that this was a high traffic area, but I did not think it would be this high trafficked.
You kind of expected that because I told you, Team Mackle, if they're not careful, they could just get caught between a rock and a hard place, and that's exactly what happened. They don't know where to run, they don't know where to hide. One's right behind them, one's straight in front of them. They're probably going to get caught out here as well. But Rockshots is going to be the one to take down Meow 16K's first initial squad. TBone and his gang. They're still alive, they're still kicking. They're getting a good chunk of damage done as well. But they're inside of the zone, and the zone is taking them down slowly but surely. TBone's going to be able to make his way down into the zone at the bare minimum. So in a way, that's the only silver lining. But what happened to Proj and his gang? Did they get taken out? Or are they still trying to make it the rotation? Is that them trying to run on away? But TBone and his squad, they have their phone number. They're just waiting to call them up.
Yeah, not just the phone number. They've got them triangulated with satellite phones and everything being rained upon them. All the utility.
Meow 16.
They've been... they're confirming their kills too. So Meow 16K, her team is in a lot of trouble. Prudge and his team, I believe Mackle's team, is also in a little bit of trouble right now because TBone's team has already reached the edge of the zone, which means they can now start to gatekeep. And this is the second ring. It doesn't hurt that much, but it sure tickles you quite a lot. And before you know it, you could be running out of resources if you're not careful. I think if anyone who wants to avoid this fight will probably have to go all the way around Fragment and then probably enter from the Pred building side.
Yeah, they're gonna have their positions ready and strong, but the thing is, TBone, they've done a really good job of being able to gatekeep two squads like that, forcing the side of Team Mackle into such an uncomfortable position. You can pat yourself on the back for that because that is really difficult to do because they always think one step ahead in every single one of their engagement, but that's just not what happened yet. I do believe one of the members of TBone's squad, they have spotted out one of the teams, but they're just not going to be going in for a Sheik Warrior though. He's making his own way down towards the side of RakaZone squad. They're in a good position, man. But at the same time, the defensive holds could just be really strong. Sheik Warrior, they're running into a little death trap if they're not careful. And RakaZone, they're probably just inviting them in. They're still here, I do believe, right?
Well, RakaZone's team, these guys were to its staging, but the team that we are spotting right now, they're all the way down towards launch side. So, unfortunately, all the defenses that they've set up near staging will have to be abandoned. Take a look at the next ring. It's just towards launch side and Lava Siphon. A lot of these teams will probably be trapped in that snake rotation path. We did see, I believe, Sick Warrior's team over there. TBone's team just entering the northern edge of the circle. We already have Sneezy's team down at the south of launch site, so that's also a pretty safe position. Hydroflick coming in from tree, and the fights begin. Sick Warrior now finds himself in the crosshairs, and they're being rushed. The caustic gas definitely will help them right now because it kind of stops the other team from moving inside just yet. It buys them a little bit more time to heal themselves and probably take up better positions, maybe inside cover too. But this portal that they have, it's been placed at the very edge of the door, so they can't completely enter this the room just yet. But once they do, I think they'll have a very safe position for themselves. And of course, they can keep poking in and out of that portal just to keep their enemies on edge. Ankita, on the other hand, oh my god, even these guys are finding people. And Midfail's team has just been eliminated. No, wait, not his team. Only he himself has been eliminated. His team probably might have a chance, but not too sure because Ankita, I think Midfail is not the only team that they are facing right now. A lot of other teams now starting to gatekeep them. At this point, the whole launch side area becomes a massive camp fest. So many teams will be present over there. People will never get the opportunity to move inside properly, at least not without taking damage. And take a look at these desperation measures coming out by Begum. He's trying to go all the way around this rock cliff and trying to enter launch site from the south, which may or may not be successful, but then he's not the only person who's trying to go for that maneuver.
He's trying to survive there. That's the only thing that we can expect coming down from their squad. Ankita and his gang, and her gang, sorry, will be able to go into a better spot, to say the very least. But at the same time, Sick Warrior and his squad just waiting. They're just chilling. There's not much that they can do here. But I personally do believe they're right next to another squad. Bloodline and his team, though. Not in the best of spots, but still, they're going to be able to take down their own squad. And if they actually take down, it's going to be Hydroflick and his squad getting taken down by another team. So Hydroflix out of the running. They're not going to be the ones to try and take that #1 spot for themselves. A little bit questionable, but at the same time, Sick Warrior and his gang is going to be the one to go in for their own fights. A little bit of a pop grenade mistake, but it's completely fine and dandy because now it's all up to Sick Warrior to try and go in for that personal fight. They know exactly where the Revenant's holding at, but they're not giving any sort of information away. The Revenant pinks out, and the shots are going to be clean, forcing them back into a corner. What's the squad exactly? Is this Bloodline?
Think it might just be Sick Warrior versus Bloodline. Sneeze gets the first knock. The captain himself has been down.
Oh, no.
More to follow as Shiva. He's teleported all the way behind them, but the flank was unsuccessful, and that is it. Sick Warrior's team is out of the picture. Sneeze and
yeah.
Bloodline, they managed to hold on to this side of Lonside. Meanwhile, in Tree, Sway is trying to go for the Reptane combination. Unfortunately, their first wave has been sent back already. Will they be able to initiate once again? Inside this house, there's a lot of caustic utility, so assaulting their opponents might not be the most easiest task right now. They can definitely run them down and race them to the zone, but I think they are not too keen on running away from this fight. They are not the kind of team that gives up. They want to go ahead. They've already found a little bit of damage. If they can make a knock possible with the Arc Stars, this would be great. But rushing that first floor with all that with all those gas canisters over there, it's nearly impossible.
They need to make it there somehow. This building is very much parkourable, and the fact that they're not going for it is a little bit questionable, but at the same time, Partition Lockdown already comes on through a Dr. Evil. He's going to be able to take down two beautiful shots coming on down from his side, understanding when he needed to go in for that aggressive play, especially with the Arcstar being the thing that deals the most amount of damage. They're able to clean up the squad, and Team Sway going to be working another squad for themselves and pick up their buddy as well.
Yeah.
They can move it down forward at the zone. It's shrinking more and more. And it feels like this game, I initially thought there's going to be 9 or 10 squads remaining right at the very end, but I don't think that's going to be the case. A very paced Apex match, pretty much. The thing that we normally see. But at the same time, Ankita and her gang, they're making their own push, and they're ready to go in for that fight. And poor old Korn, all on his lonesome, man. Just like me every single night after I finish casting.
Oh my god. That took a really dark turn all of a sudden. Didn't need that, but okay. So, let's take a head count. Sway manages to eliminate RakaZone's team. Ankita brings it down to the last 5 squads. And the ring moves towards the western side of Locked Sight. Alright, this could be interesting. Now, it is a possibility for Ankita's team to go all the way around the edge and completely avoid all the teams. So, they have an opportunity to pick up better positions. But are there any other teams who might be already inside the zone, ready to gatekeep them? We'll have to take a look. We definitely knew that there were at least 2 teams inside of launch site. Now, whether or not they're still there, or whether or not they'll be on the move, we'll have to take a look.
Teams are going to be slowing down a lot more now, though. 5 squads remaining. They know for a fact that they need to be a lot more tactical. The thing is, how tactical can they really be? Consider something here, folks, because there's probably only 2 people alive in one of the squads. That's why it's showing 14 people remaining. So in this situation, whoever is on that 2-person squad, they need to try and find a very safe haven to try and stay alive at the bare minimum. They can get the placement points at the very least. It's all about placements here. And we had seen a squad back during the Invitationals and also during the Rise of Legion event that they had no wins whatsoever, but they still got the #1. I'm pretty sure you remember that, right?
I don't remember their name, but I definitely remember their playstyle. It was very, very conservative and very cool. Oh my god, they just got their hands on a Kraber.
Oh.
But Mackle, on the other hand, he's starting to pick up some fights. Now, they aren't fighting Ankita's team just yet. Ankita's team can come in and third party if needed. But it seems like Mackle, will he be able to find them though?
Oh, dude, Mackle's position, they're going to get compromised from 2 different angles. They need to rotate out of here almost immediately. I don't like the spot, man. I understand you're at the center of the ring, but the center is not safe, dude. It's not safe whatsoever. Whoever's at the center could just get shot from 2 different angles, and if you are not careful, if your opponent's squad from the other side pins you right then and there, you're going to die out. Keeping control for this is dangerous.
Yeah. But this is a smart move, so Mackle's team, not only were they fighting another squad, but they now spotted out the members of Team Ankita as well. And Ankita, as we know, they're running Are they running a Revtain combination? I'm not really sure about their lineup. I think they are the team with the caustic, so they don't have the remnants on them. But what Northern Breeze is doing is breaking down the jump pad so that Mackle team, they stay a little bit safe. They don't get assaulted immediately. And for good measure too, because Ankita's team have their hands on a Kraber. Imagine getting one Kraber knock and then rushing down immediately. That would be great.
Raj, he's playing it a little bit too dangerous though, going in for swings like that. Could just hurt him, but they're just vibing, they're just chilling. And right on the other side, it's going to be the side of Team Bloodline. We already know 3 buildings all across the map, 3 buildings being controlled by the 3 squads of Ankita, Bloodline, and Mackle. Now,
What about the other two?
I have no idea. Are they underground somewhere? Or are they chilling near the lava? Are they roasting s'mores? Telling a couple of campfire stories? I'm pretty sure that's what's up. Oh, wait, no.
Could be, but not the best time for a campfire story. But there we go. Bloodline's team now on the verge of taking down Mackle and his friends. But no, instead, they end up fighting, I believe this is Krat's team. So this has to be the remnants of Team TBone. And that's it. TBone's team has been eliminated by Sway. And at this point, Bloodline also might just be looking at their second wave of the Revtain combination. So it's pretty interesting to see what's going to happen. At this point, Sway's team is the only one outside the zone. Bloodline's team might have been sent back already, but I think they'll be ready for their next wave of push onto Team Mackle.
Thing is, positions are just going to be as strong, but the rotations are not going to be that good. Team Sway, they're in a decent position, I would say. They have a lot of the chances to cut off a lot of the rotations, but already with the fights happening inside of the building, the 3 squads, they're right next to one another. The Gibraltar Shield has also been placed. They're trying to survive the absolute beasts that are known as the side of Team Mackle here, but it's just not going to be happening, not just yet. Bloodline, they're in a pretty good spot. They know exactly what's happening on towards the other side, but with a wall straight in front of them and another wall straight up behind them, being known as the zone, they need to make a decision. The push needs to happen soon. Otherwise, they're going to be in the most stickiest situation possible, because Team Mackle, they're still in the best possible spot. And with both of the squads coming on down through soon enough, they need to isolate a 1v1, and they need to do it immediately. But Bloodline, you can already see the problem here, Crips.
Yeah, they're cornered. They'll have to tank a little bit of the ring damage in order to get inside.
That's a lot of damage, dude. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of damage unless they're able to land their jump pad rotations on point. Now, here's the thing. Mackle might just end up fighting these guys on the other side. And as soon as that fight begins, they will then realize that there is a team trapped over. Now they know because of the scan, but here's the thing. They know that the team that's trapped inside there is safe for the next 30 seconds because nobody will go out of the way to harm them. But Mackle's team, they need to be the most defensive unit on point right now. I mean, luckily for the other teams, they don't have a caustic or something, so all these entrances, they'll have to be guarded by nothing but guns. They can't deploy utility already to, keep them safe. But Ankita is inching closer and closer. They're just on the opposite side of the vaults from each other. And the funny part is, Ankita's team now has a bloody Kraber. It's a little too close to use the Kraber, but hey, it still slaps, even at that close range.
Yeah, but especially in the hands of a player like Northern Breeze, if he has a Kraber in his hand, even on the close ranges, you know for a fact a couple of no-scope headshots are going to be landing. He's an incredible player for a reason, but at the same time, Mackle, now this is the time they're going to get bombarded. The pushes are going to be coming, the shots are going to be taken, and right on the other side is going to be Ankita and her squad. They're going in for the push, but they're just not going to be able to survive. Being engaged so beautifully. Everyone pulls out their shotgun. They're going to blast their faces into a million pieces, and one by one they get taken down as well. And that's going to be one squad down, and now another squad's going to be going in for their own push. Bloodline, they know for a fact what to expect, but the shots are just not connecting. One player's already going to be going on down. More are going to be coming on down through as well, but they're at low HP. They have nothing to work with. And Team Mackle and this squad is going to be the one to take everyone down. But what happened to Team Sway?
I think they probably bled out to the ring. I mean, they never even participated in this fight.
What? Did they get killed by Bloodline?
I mean, it was a pretty messy endgame affair. Mackle's team, they had the best position, so it stands to reason that they'd be the squad that wins. But then you gotta consider what a difficult situation they were in. On one end, they have Ankita's team, and on the other side, they have Team Bloodline. The moment Ankita's team decides to perforate through those doors, it's like a little
Yeah.
choke point, and the EVA 8 is able to demolish everybody. So that's Ankita's team dealt with. But then from the other side, Team Bloodline comes through, and even with the Krabers, I'm sorry, wait. They didn't have the Krabers. Ankita's team
Yeah.
had the Krabers. They never got to use them. That's the sad part.
Close
But
proximity fights.
exactly, even in close proximity, they were not able to use it. But then somehow, Team Bloodline, they took way too much ring damage. So all they had was shields and barely any actual HP left. So it was a little easier for Team Mackle to deal with them.
Yeah, that's one of the prime reasons why they had to take such a massive loss here. The shotguns were in the hands of the side of Team Mackle. Team Mackle, they had the better positions. The thing about blowing up the doors or trying to kick down the doors is that you want to spread your team out. One person kicks down the door, everyone else stays back really far away and starts shooting as soon as the door just breaks. And in this situation, Team Mackle, all of them were really close. They were not considering any sort of distance, all had their shotguns out and they were just ready, being like, okay, bust down the doors, man, bust down the doors. I got my shotgun ready and I'm gonna blast you in your brains and send you into the next dimension in a matter of seconds. Team Mackle, they just had the better position in general. And just as I said at Bloodline, they couldn't do anything. They're gonna tank so much zone damage, especially when the zone is right at the very end. Which was this? This was the fourth zone. So
Yeah.
there's nothing that they can do here. And hey, ladies and gentlemen, the match highlights are ready. So let's head on down over onto that and see exactly what really went down from the very start all the way up till the very end. Because the fights were pretty clean right off the get-go. But the thing is, Scripps, it felt like everyone was playing a little bit too slow for my own liking, considering the amount of avenues and the positions that they had. Team Bloodline could have taken down Mackle a long time ago, but they didn't want to risk it, and them not taking such a risk cost them this entire match.
Yeah, but at least they are able to, come to second place, which is as good as they could have done. They could have taken a risk and tried to go earlier, but then the whole risk of ending in third place is also remaining. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Team Bloodline made any wrong moves. Considering the positioning and considering how trapped they were, waiting would have been the best choice. And eventually the circle would have forced them out. So they did move in at the right time, but they were not able to finish off their opponents. I think the place where they lost out was basically the aim duels. And Team Mackle, they shouldn't have been able to win, to be honest. They were in a good position, but considering the amount of teams that were just raining down upon them, it was a miracle how they were able to make this one work. They have to be the absolute best of the best in terms of not just the strategy, but also the aim in order to survive a situation like this. And they were. Like, it's not like they got a lot of time between the push from Ankita and Team Bloodline.
Yeah, this just hurts, man.
Exactly. The moment Ankita's team went down, Team Bloodline was already on top of them, so they never got any time to heal. And in this highlight, we'll see exactly how quick they were. They just swapped out the shields. They put up the armor that Team Ankita was wearing, and immediately after that, they started to fight Team Bloodline.
Yeah, the biggest question mark in my eyes in this situation was that Team Bloodline, if you wanted to go in for a push like that, why didn't you go together as a squad? They were already fighting. They were already done with one squad, but I just saw a Bloodhound just walk in front of the side of the entirety of Team Mackle, and I'm like here sitting confused. Why did you go alone? You could have taken it a little bit more slower. Go together with your team, heal yourself up just a little bit more to gain that small slight advantage against the side of Team Mackle, rush them down as a squad, overwhelm them one by one, and then take the win away from them. A little bit questionable, but at the same time, it's understandable. You were afraid. You thought that you needed to go in for the push immediately. You just came out of the zone. You have no more HP to work with. But in a way, I hope they will learn. And it was just an unfortunate situation for them. They got caught inside of the zone. There was a wall in front of them, and there was another wall behind them. So what can you do? Try to break through one of the walls, and you're going to get caught by another one indeed. And in this situation, Team Mackle, they deserve this win. They're going to be able to take the #1 champion here for the Streamer Invitational, ladies and gentlemen, right off the get-go. The thing is, Scripps, now that Team Mackle, they have taken the first initial squad, we kind of expected that it was going to happen. It's Team Mackle, of course. Now the other squads, they know who to look out for. So in a way, Team Mackle, they have a target on their back because Team Mackle, they are a team that are going to be sought after right off the get-go. They are going to be the team that you want to take down right off the start. So I'm really hoping that a lot of the streamers have done their research now. They have rewatched the stream and actually see where the side of Team Mackle love to land the most. Because Team Mackle, if I remember correctly from the first Invitational, they always enjoyed landing in one very specific position. They don't really sway away from their landing spots every single time. As soon as they go off the airship, they like to go to one specific position, and that's it. The thing
Yeah.
is, what will that position be? We're going to be finding that out on map number 2. Will they actually switch up their spots, or actually are going to be going in for the same position all over again? But as the standings are being prepared here, Grips, I want your thoughts. How many points do you think that the side of Team Mackle had? I'm saying that they had above 20, but it could be a little bit less as well.
No, I think it will be more. I think it'll be close to 25. So here's the thing, they get 12 points just for winning the game,
Mm.
just for being at the number 1 spot. Now, let's take a look. They were fighting 3 squads earlier near village just outside of Fragment. They had to back out of one of those fights, which is fair considering it was a 4-way battle. So they
Yep.
might have picked up 1 kill each from one squad. I do believe that there was Team TBone, there was Team Meow 16K, and Mackle. Those 3 teams were definitely there next to Village, but I can't remember the name of the 4th team. My memory is kind of playing tricks with me. Either way,
Mhm.
they must have taken a couple of kills off of that. And then when they reached here, they were able to wipe out the entirety of Team Ankita. They were able to wipe out the entirety of Team Bloodline. So that's 6 kills right there and there.
Yep.
So 12 plus 6 for sure, but then maybe a little bit more. So a little north of 20. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, around the 22-23 mark is what we expect from the side of Team Mackle. And hey, they hit the ground running and they're able to get a pretty decent lead right at the get go. But at the same time, my biggest question is what happened to the side of Team Hydroflick? They were in a pretty good spot, but at the same time, I do believe that their compositional disadvantage kind of caught up to them. The thing is, whenever you don't play a Gibraltar, you need to be very conscious about your rotations. Unless you are consciously understanding how you do a lot of your rotations, which rotations you really want to go for, and which side of the map and which avenues that you want to take, it's gonna get you caught in a pretty bad position. And I do believe that Hydroflick and his gang just got caught out when they're trying to go in for a rotation, and the rotation call was just pretty bad, especially when you're trying to go through high traffic areas. If a team is holding down inside of the building, you could just get caught out. And if you have a Gibraltar, you have a chance to breathe. You have a chance of understanding what to do next. Slowly but surely, you're going to be able to think of a plan. But if you don't have a Gibraltar, the thing is, you're going to get shot at. There's no cover around you. Even if there is cover, it's like a small rock where nades can be thrown at you from the left and from the right. You need to make a decision on the fly. And I feel like he was just not able to do it. And hopefully, moving on down the line in map number 2, he's going to be able to bring something a little bit more. Just as Red Bull's going to be giving you wings, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of energy, make sure to scan that QR code down below. Get yourself that can, get yourself energized as well, because these teams, they need to get their energy up as well, because you need to consider something. We're going to be playing 5 maps today and 5 maps tomorrow to see exactly who's going to be the one to get crowned and win out 125,000 right off the get-go for in the number 1 position. All these squads, they're going to be prepped, they're going to be ready, and they are going to be trying hard as much as they can, because if map number 1 is something to go off on, I do believe that a lot of the teams, they have a lot more surprises on for us as well, because considering the side of Team Angita being able to take the 3rd spot, it is going to be the side of Bloodline being able to take the 2nd. We don't really know what to expect here. Team Mackle, they took the number 1. It's kind of expected. They're always the one to start everything off beautifully, but that's not always the case. Something a little bit more different could happen here as well, don't you think so?
Definitely. The way you were preferring Gibraltar, I have a little bit of inclination towards Caustic for that matter. I mean,
Yeah.
considering being in Team Mackle's position, you have the best position in the game and everyone else has to come towards you. In a situation like that, if you put up Caustic Utility in the room that you're holding, you win the game by default. Nobody else can even come close to you. You probably don't even need to fight them. You can just stop them from coming inside, block all the doorways and entry points using the canisters. And if things do go wrong, just pull out the Nox gas and knock them
Yeah.
all out.
Yeah, you just throw them that stinky gas that you got probably from a public bathroom and throw it straight at them. But hey,
And there's specific lore about which planet Caustic gets his gas from, which spiders he uses to make that gas. There's a whole lore dump about it.
no. We already know where it comes from, and a lot of the players can actually agree with us on that as well. But hey, we're not going to be going there not just yet, ladies and gentlemen. The caustic lore can be taken into consideration a little bit later, but I think that the players have their own lore. Like before, I still remember back in season 0, we had no lore to work with, and we kind of made our own lore for Caustic. And hey, it worked out, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm starting to doubt your storytelling has some really nice characters in it.
Oh,
All those characters are probably twisted and evil, just like you. I mean, there's this one whole lore dump where they had to go to this planet to save Bangalore's life because she was poisoned, and then Caustic, being the evil character, somehow comes through to save her life and he turns into a good character. This is like a whole anime redemption arc of sorts for this person. Either way, let's see if Caustic can redeem himself. I do believe RakaZone's team was running a
yep.
Caustic today, and I think that was the only team with a Caustic. Other than that, I didn't see anyone else. And sure,
Yep.
they were able to win their first battle I think it was in staging, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, they were able to win against Arm Power's team, but then they lost to Sway. But either way, let's take a look at the standings and see where everyone is in terms of points.
When you look at when you look at the standings here, ladies and gentlemen, for the first initial match, it's gonna be the side of Team Mackle being able to get 24. We kind of expected this. We expected a 24 or a 23. But at the same time, Team Sway actually are the ones who actually got second place here. I thought that Team Sway
Oh,
died out early. You were
exactly. I mean, they were not in the zone at all. I think they were probably just heal battling outside. They never fought. They never participated in that final battle. Ankita's team and Bloodline's team were the ones who were assaulting Mackle.
because
And
at
while we
14.
thought they were the ones who would come either second or third, it was actually Sway who was just outside, and we saw her away from all the action.
Mhm. But at the same time, 3 teams on 14 points. Mackle, of course, 24. He let that go. 3 players on 14 points. That's kind of pretty cool showing. All these teams, they are keeping a consistent play between all of them. But the biggest question mark in my eyes is that everyone has 14 points from 2, 3, and 4. And then we see 5, 6, and 7 with 6, 6, 4, 4. What?
Yeah, this disparity in points is massive right here. I mean, I have to give it to Team Bloodline. They have plenty of kills. They were not the team to shy away from action. While they were coming into the zone, they were able to slaughter plenty of people, Sick Warrior being one of them. And I do believe, I think it was Meow 16K's team who fell to them. No, wait, Meow 16K fell in that very early battle near the village area, the one
Mhm.
fight which Team Mackle backed out of. So yeah, that was basically the story for the first game. We have Sway, Ankita, Bloodline, all of them tied up. Mackle's team at 24, everyone else at 14. And after that, everyone else in single digits. So the disparity in points is massive. We already
Mhm.
have our top 4 teams. By the end of the second game, we might just find out our top 5. And then the rest of the day is just about them trying to, one up each other.
Honestly speaking, you know for a fact that if Team Mac will win the second game and if they get another 24 points, I think we can crown the champions for day number 1, just not
Already.
day number 2. Yeah, we're just gonna say that day number 1, Team Mac is just gonna be untouchable. No one's gonna be able to touch them. But it really does depend on them getting another win here. If they're able to get another 24-point game, if they're able to get just a 20-point game, they're gonna be in the best possible spot moving on down the line. But we can't really expect that now, can we? Because considering how Team Bloodline have been playing, considering how the side of Team Sway have been playing, they're also top contenders to take it away from Mackle. They just had small mistakes here and there that cost them pretty much everything. But in a way, they should be able to do it. They should be able to make it. Some unfortunate situations can happen from time to time, but that's pretty much it. Hopefully the improvements are there for map number 2, Chris, because I can see a lot of these players, they're hungry for the win. And it's kind of expected. If you have a 3 lakh prize pool on the line, you're going to be hungry for the win. Doesn't matter what you do. You need to try and pull off a miracle. Play for the placement points. Play for the kills as well, because kills are the name of the game, especially when you're going up against teams such as Team Mackle, because you know for a fact that they're going to be aggressive. They're not going to be slowing down their pace whatsoever, and they're going to be the ones to try and take down as many players as possible to solidify a strong lead for themselves. And with that, I do hope that map number 2, as it is getting prepared, ladies and gentlemen, will be starting up real soon, because to expect something a little bit more different from the squads is what we can see, because knowing what happened in the previous matchup and where they landed, they all spread themselves out a lot more. But understanding the situation now, I would personally say it's always important to go in for kill points right at the very beginning when the stakes are a lot more lower. You can have a chance of taking a lot more risk instead of doing it later. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the game is ready. We're going to be heading on down over into that to get a visual representation of exactly where the teams are going to be landing this time around. And I'm really hoping they go for hot drops, because you know that I'm a type of person that believes if you want to try and go in for a strong start right off the get go, it's better to play for the kill points rather than play for it later. Because if you play for the kill points later on in the tournament, it's a lot more difficult to survive and get the placement points, where the placement point matters a lot more if you want the prize pool at the second, third, fourth, or fifth positions. If you're shooting for the number 1, go for it right now. Otherwise, just play it slow if you want to get complacent with the number 2, number 3.
Yeah, shoot for the top. That's what aggressive wants you guys to do, and definitely you shouldn't aim for anything lower. Let's take a look at where everyone's going. We have Beg for Mercy's team inside of Lava Siphon. They're the only ones present over there, so no early game problems for them. We also have, I think it is Arm Power's team. They have switched up their drop location and they went to its Overlook instead. Epicenter, Survey Camp, Climatizer, all of them are empty. Fragment, of course, will obviously be occupied by Team
Mackle. A lot
Mackle.
of fights.
Yeah, that's Fragment, but then I see 3 teams inside of Skyhook, and this could be a problem right here. One of them is Hydra Flick. The other teams, I'm sure that there's.
He's in a fight already.
Oh my God, now 16K already, and this time they switched up their drop location. They're the ones who are going to its staging. RakaZone's team was able to beat Arm Power this time, last time, in this very area, but RakaZone's team has still the same drop location. The only difference is Arm Power has gone to its Overlook instead, and Meow 16K has taken his place over here. Well, at least now we know that staging won't be the only place which sees early action. We saw 3 teams inside of Skyhook as well. One of them was Hydroflake. Couldn't see the other 2 because of the names being overlapped. But yeah, we didn't see any early battles in Skyhook last time, didn't we? I mean, 3 teams were present over there, but all of them decided to just rotate away from each other instead of fight. And now RakaZone's team has been scanned, so let's see if Meow 16K will assault them, or will they just continue staying inside here?
It's dangerous, though. The fact that RakaZone is holding that building once again, there's no way to enter without getting shot by, like, 3 players, and then there's a couple of gas cannons on 2 sides as well.
Yeah,
hey, you can open the doors. Oh, come on. I'm inviting you in my house. Just come on in. I don't care. It's fine. But at the same time, if you come in my house, you gotta worry about the gas canisters right in front. You need to be careful. And hey, Meow, she knows. He's not gonna be taking any chances here. Genius right around the corner, going in for a couple of pop shots of his own accord. And hey, the doors are gonna get busted down here. It's gonna get opened up. This is gonna be good for them, but the gas canister is gonna activate as well. They need to make a choice here. RakaZone, they have a good spot, but as soon as those gas canisters are gone, this is free real estate, and RakaZone, they can't do anything about the emanating push that could be coming on down through from the side of Meow 16K. Yep, it's all been broken down. No more gas canisters to work with. They need to make a decision. Gibraltar Shield also comes up as well, but Meow 16K, they're all at very low HP. That's going to be the first position player already down. She can't survive for long here as well. Positions are just bad. It's going to be the side RakaZone being able to shut them down one by one with their own aim prowess. Meow 16K, I think they bit off a bit more than they can chew here.
Yeah, and now they're just trying to run away from this one. The last surviving player will have no chance to recover their banners. Genius. You can see his teammates die right there. Seria and Meow 16K, both of them dead just on the doors of staging. But there's no way to recover the banners. Will he continue staying here? A couple more bullets and he can upgrade to purple levers. But even if you're having purple shields, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you need teammates to make this one work. So we'll probably just wait and try to recover them later on. But I don't think RakaZone's team is going to leave this place anytime soon. They don't need to. The zone favors them. They are inside. They have absolutely no reason to leave except for maybe looting more. But looting can always be possible, you know, after you're killing other people and just looting the dead boxes. But here we have Team Beg for Mercy, and they are using their opponent's Rev Totem against them. This is amazing. They are down to just 2 people now. Axpack has fallen. Fat Monster has 2 lives. But Mercy, let's see if he's able to get one. He's sending back everyone for now. But at this moment, Ramon's team is the one who will be facing trouble. They are down to just the last player, and that's going to be the Revenant. He's trying to confirm the kills first instead of trying to go ahead and fight other people. So that's good. At least they will be having a couple of points in their kitty, even if he dies right now. The chances of him surviving are less. But with him trying to revive one, this could be possible. Korn can climb up using the jump pad, but he won't be able to climb all the way up. He doesn't have any double jumps. Did Robo just disconnect? Oh my god, this is bad. I mean, the two players who've been knocked out are obviously knocked out, but the one player who's still alive, the Gibraltar, has lagged out. So that's going to be the end of Team Robo as well. No more revivals possible from them. Raman, on the other hand, they haven't been confirmed yet. At least this player was SC116YT. So call him what you want, but he was able to confirm
CP.
the kill onto. He was able to confirm the kill onto Axpac. So even if they die right here, they will at least have 1 point in their bag, and they will force their enemies to, respawn their teammates, which is always a risky move.
Yeah, in this situation, I think that going in for respawns even should not be the case. Someone's gonna be watching those dead bodies. Someone's gonna be trying to stop them right here and now. But at the same time, Ankita and her gang, they're going in for their own push. They spot out the drop. So in this drop, what are they gonna get? And they get an alternator for themselves. And this alternator could just shred it down every single one of the players that they do face here. Now they're gonna be going up against RakaZone squad. Are they still here? I don't think so. No, they just
Well,
left it. That's better.
that's okay. They don't need to fight RakaZone's team just yet. It is difficult and pretty annoying to fight against a Caustic who's inside over there, but Beckfirm Mercy, they managed to revive Axback. That's amazing. All their players are back online once again. But now they're fighting Bearded Panda, and that was the last member of Robo's team. Alright, so that's Team Robo out of the picture.
Yeah, poor old guy got disconnected in the worst possible position, and then as Axpax was just farming on him, man. What do? Like, you're just standing there, you're just chilling, you're looking at the wall, you're seeing the stone and the beautiful architecture that it has, and then suddenly you get shot in the back by a guy holding a G7 scout.
And that too without any scopes. The iron sight on G7 Scout is absolutely pathetic.
I kind of like it, but at the same time, like, I'm an OG player for the side of Apex.
Yeah, but still, the iron sights on G7 Scout,
Yeah,
And you-
understandable, actually.
the best iron sight probably, belongs to the R301 or maybe the R99 if you have that one skin. Forgot the name, but either way, Harsh's team,
for the
they
win.
have always been in trouble. They're down to their last player, and he's running away from his teammates.
Ooh.
Actually, no, wait, he's running towards his teammates. He was a little far away. But recovering the banners will be a little difficult considering you have to get
Especially with the
inside the
Valve.
zone and make sure that you are, not spotted by the members who just killed your teammates.
This is an impossible rescue story, but at the same time, I think that Team Mackle, they had such a quiet game here. They're not really able to find out a lot. They did take out the side of Hirsch's team, so the last player is not even going to be able to survive that. They do get a couple of Evo Shields for the Evo Shield upgrades for themselves. Positions are going to be strong as well here, Crips, but at the same time, Team Mackle, they had a really slow start. They don't have the same amount of loot as they did in the previous matchup, so in a way, I personally do think that they're in trouble, but at the same time, no squads are close to them. But at the same time, Beg for Mercy, they could just be facing a squad real soon as well because they're right next to Countdown. And I do think that one squad still is holding Countdown, especially considering this position.
Launch site. Either way, yeah, I agree with you. Back for Mercy's team is pretty uncomfortable. They could be very close to trouble. As they approach Lava Cyclone, they can already hear all these gunshots, and now they're looking to third party. The scan does reveal the positions, and the spray from the flatline is amazing. Axpac melts down two people. Doesn't even bother healing up. He wants to go for it right now. He positions himself behind them. His teammate's still ahead. So this could be the one flag that Beg for Mercy's team has been looking for. But will they be able to finish them off in time? There is one more squad, and they know it. So they have to be careful about a potential third party. They were the ones who were trying to come in later on. But let's just hope it doesn't turn against them.
It's not a good position for them at all. Beg for Mercy, they're literally playing with fire. They need to finish this kills really quickly. They need to take them all down really fast. Good chunks of damage being done onto the Gibraltar, but it's not as much as you would have expected. Doors are open. They can go in for a push. They almost have nothing to worry about. They need to get into a better position because this spot, they could just get shot from the back, and if any Octane is on the enemy squad, they could get jumped on in a matter of seconds. The scans are going to be going on down through trying to get a little bit of information at the bare minimum, but Beg for Mercy, in a way, I think that they're now going to be able to slow things down just a little bit, but not too much, because there's another squad right on their right side. And Deck for Mercy, they're actually running a Loba? What?
Yeah, this is very rare. This is very rare, seeing a Loba in a competitive tournament. Hey, at least with this, they never have to worry about heals and ammo, which honestly can be a pain in the ass in the later stages of the game. If you're trapped in one of those rooms like, Mackle's team was last time, it's very easy to run out of resources. And if Beck for Mercy's team finds themselves in a situation like this, at least they won't have to worry about resources with the Loba on board. But then they don't have as much versatility as teams with Caustic or Gibraltar's do. They've got them trapped inside one of the snake pits of Harvester. Can they defend this one? The gas canister, not the best weapon or the best holding tool if you got a sliding door like that. Maybe one of those doors that you can kick down is fine, but not this one. Either way.
A little bit of extra loot from Mercy. It's like, oh, I see a flying drone. I'm going to get a little bit of extra loot.
Yeah, but they've got Loba. I mean, what more loot do they need? They've already got red shields. Probably the only team with red shields right now.
They aren't the ones to go in for so many different engagements, and the fact that they aren't the ones to go in for stuff like that just goes to show that they're in a pretty good spot. But at the same time, Crips, the most questionable thing here in this entire matchup is that we expected a shift in playstyle, but this is a massive shift. Look at everyone's position. They're miles apart from one another. And this could just go down to the very last circle with all the squads still alive, and we could just go into a clusterfest of teams just taking fights in 2 seconds and people dying out from like 10 squads over to 2 in a matter of what? 3, 5, 4 seconds?
Yeah. Yeah, and take a look at the next ring. It is absolutely terrible. Staging is still probably the only point of contact in here, but all the other teams will have to settle for tunnels or just rock cliffs. And the one ring next to that? It's even worse. There are absolutely no places left to hide. No more compounds available in the 4th ring. At least in the 3rd one, they still have a little bit something left to work with. Sick Warrior, they're inside of Thermal Station. On top, there is Team Hydra Flag trying to fire at them from far away. Now, we know that Bloodline is also a little to the north of Thermal Station. This could turn into a 3-way affair anytime now. Of course, Team Bloodline not participating in the battle just yet, but they are keeping tabs on this for sure. 10 squads could turn into 7 in a matter of seconds because this thermal station area has been negated and they need to move inside the circle where I think Team Hydroflick can move if they're fast enough, but Team Bloodline might just beat them to the race to the zone.
It's not the best possible spot for them. Sick Warriors, they need to try and maybe get into a better position for themselves. They did leave the high ground and they're going in for their own push, trying to get a better spot inside of the zone. They need to be careful. One more squad is waiting for them straight inside of the building on their left side. I don't think they know. Oh no, they're possibly going to be able to go in for a 3rd party. They know where the 2 squads are at. They hear the shots. They know exactly what to expect. They just are going to creep up slowly but surely. Get into a better spot. Go in for that 3rd party. It's easy pickings for you, but they don't want to go for it. Instead, they're going inside of the circle. They're being tactical here, folks.
Exactly, they're being tactical. They're being really, really smart. They're trying to outposition both the other squads over there instead of participating in that battle. But no! On power, you're about to get a nice bunch of kills for yourself. He's able to knock down Tamim, so that's one very, very free kill. And Unpower's team, keep in mind, was the one team that was keeping Team Mackle at bay. They were the ones who were fighting Mackle from far away, but now they have a completely different opponent in front of them. And this is probably the most defensive lineup I would have ever seen. A Gibraltar and a Caustic. We saw something like this in the last game as well, with Team RakaZone doing the same. But this is completely different. I don't know if Caustics will be able to effectively defend open areas. He's definitely good for an urban compound, but I'm not really sure about the potency of a Caustic in an open area, in an open ring like this. There's still a little bit of Harvester left inside the zone, so they don't need to worry about the ring or positioning themselves just yet. They should be safe. But Mackle's team is out of there and into someone else's hair. At this point, they're the ones inside the crossing. And their opponents do have the high ground, but them being in the center of the circle might not be as effective as it was for them last time.
I don't like the HPs or the positions being held from the side of Team Mackle. It's super dangerous. They could just get caught out. It's better to run away, try and live to tell the tale on another day. Team Mackle, they're going to do exactly that. They're going to try and cut their losses. They're going to run off. They're going to try and get better position for themselves. But at the same time, Beg for Mercy, they're trying to go in for their own fight here with the Loba on their side. They don't really have a lot to work with. They can get as many grenades as they can possibly want. They have everything set up for themselves, but at the same time, Team Mackle, they're going to be going in for their own fight. Project is going to be the first one to go in for the first initial kill. Kraken's going to be beautiful. It's got to be straight back onto another one. And Northern Breeze is going to be able to take out the entirety of the side of Arm Power single-handedly. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be another squad biting the dust already. And Team Mackle, they're in a pretty good spot. They had a really slow start right off the get-go, but now they compose themselves. They have the loot. They have everything to work with. They also have a really good position. But with 7 squads remaining, can you say any position is a good position? Because someone could be waiting for you right around the corner, Crips.
Yeah, and this circle doesn't even have any decent places left to hide inside. All these teams will have to fight alongside the edge of these rock cliffs, and Hydroflick is probably the first team to experience that firsthand. With just 1 player remaining, Startup Guy has to do his best to recover the banners of his teammates, but even if he does recover, what can he possibly do? There's barely any respawn stations available. Unless they have respawn beacons, it doesn't make sense. Sick Warrior, now one of the teams who was attacking Team Hydroflick, has to worry about a complete different opponent. They're trying to use the Caustic Utility to make sure nobody can come near this rock facade, but let's be honest, they can still be shot from the back, and now Hydroflick starts to shoot them at the same time the other team is assaulting them. This is double trouble for them right now. Scorpion with the first knock. Ronnie, he comes around with the second one, and Ankita's team with the alternator is shredding everybody in the circle. At this point, the Gibraltar has a lot more utility than the Caustic, and he's going to be a lot more effective in situations like these. But if you force out a bubble from the Gibraltar early on, then I don't know what else is left for you to defend yourself.
Ooh, the positions are pretty good. The Gibraltar ultimate's also in hand. Just throw it out there. Maybe you can find something. They need to try and get a better position for themselves. Shots are going to be taken out. The squad is going to be beautiful. The tracking's going to be good as well from the side of Ronnie. But with that, Bacon's going to be good for 2 kills. He's already going to be able to fight his third as well. In the entirety of Sick Warrior and his squad. They're out of the dumps already. 5 squads remaining here, ladies and gentlemen. The circle's going to be closing on down in as well soon enough. Anguilla squad, they're in the best possible spot. They don't have anyone to look behind them, but still the shots from the other side is going to be even better. Fat Monster is going to be the one to take down Startup Guy as well. So in this situation, Back for Mercy, they're already out. They have nothing to do. One of their star players have already been taken out, and that's another squad already going on down. 4 squads remaining. Shots are going to be taken. Grenades are going to be thrown as well. Team Mackle, they're in such a good spot. They can just throw all the grenades in the entire world. And the side of Team Audio, they're going to get burned to a crisp. 1 player remaining here, ladies and gentlemen. There's something that they can do. Team Audio is the only squad that has a chance of trying to take down Team Mackle. They're getting taken down as well. Fudge from the back end, just going to come one down through. He's a devil. He's a boogeyman, and he's going to be the one to send everyone back home. Fudge is the kill leader. And with 8 kills on the board, this guy is tearing everything up. But at the same time, they gotta worry about something because another squad is right around the corner and they have no time to compose themselves and no time to heal at all.
If they can jump back to the position that Team Ankita was in, it would be great, but then Brudge gets knocked out mid-air. This is ridiculous. Keep in mind that Bacon's dead body has an alternator and a Spitfire. If they pick up either one of these weapons, they will have the advantage. But Beck for Mercy has them cornered. They're trying to take down everyone on the server. They've already got the knock onto Axpac. Now Mackle himself goes down, and that's going to be it. Brudge gets finished off as well. This is ridiculous.
Another 8 kill leader. What just happened? Fat Monster is 8. There's another squad already right behind them. The squads are just going on down. Beck for Mercy, they're in the worst possible position. One player's already been taken on down. Fat Monster doesn't is there. But at the same time, Axpac, he's still going to be holding down. He's going to be able to get 1-1. But still, gamer time. He's going to be able to shut down another one. Beck for Mercy, they're not in a good spot. But at the same time, Axpac, he's making the difference. He's going to be able to take down 2 players from the opposition team. He needs to take down 1 more. The red shield's going to be there, but the bullets are not.
What?
This one out? He barely has any HP to work with. Where's the last squad? I don't even know here, ladies and gentlemen. Will he even be able to pick up one of his teammates is the real question. He needs to heal himself. He needs to compose himself right here and right now. Could have possibly taken up a red shield and taken a Phoenix kit at the bare minimum to try and survive this, but that's just not what's going to happen. Can pick up his buddy, but he doesn't know what to expect. Where is the guy? Where is he?
Oh, there you go. Now you know exactly where Northern Breeze is.
Are you serious, Northern Breeze? Are you serious?
I mean, he had no other choice. He had to jump downstairs, and now there's no way up. He's gonna just die to the ring, and Beg for Mercy, they win the game by default.
Very anticlimactic way to end such an intense. That is so anticlimactic that you can see that Axpac is like, are you serious? Did I just win like that?
I mean,
like,
hey,
bro.
a win is a win.
But Come on, Chris. That is the most anticlimactic way to end an Apex game. You get all of the kills, extreme high octane action all over the place. You literally take down a squad single handedly by yourself with all of your teammates already done and dead. And then you search for the last player, be like, where's the guy? I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna have my last intense battle that's gonna go into a highlight reel. And then suddenly you look over the edge and be like, oh,
Yeah, he's down there. He's not coming up.
goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. Just say that. Thank you for the free win. Just say that to him, as just send the compliments as you take that nice championship for yourself. Either way, even though Northern Breeze had a rather anticlimactic end and he wasn't able to fight for the win at the end, I think these guys will be pretty happy. Praj had 8 kills all by himself. You put together the kills that his teammates had, it definitely will go up to above 10. So that, along with the 9 points from positioning, and Mackle's team has yet another great game. They don't win, but that's completely okay. They will still get a plethora of points.
I don't think that they were actually on the ninth spot. They died out a lot more earlier, so I would say they should be getting around six-ish because I think they were the sixth squad that was still alive. We're going to be seeing that on the points later on after we see the match highlights at the very beginning. The match highlights is going to get prepared, ladies and gentlemen. Before we do go into that here, Crips, did you like the pacing of this matchup? Because we were thinking that the pacing will be a lot more slow, but is it to your liking? The teams were aggressive, but they were not overly aggressive here.
Yeah, I think this spacing was a little more, spaced out. But then
Mhm.
probably because of the circle. I mean, it forced them all into the open areas, and then there was just this one massive rock cliff that everyone had to play around, right? And there wasn't too much to work with. It was a little close to thermal station, so all these teams, like let's say Sick Warrior and even Team RakaZone for that matter, they were basically outpositioned and they had no way inside. Team Bloodline also were in a spot where they could race Team Sick Warrior to the end, but then they couldn't do it. Let's take a look at the highlights, because in this one we will see that towards the end it was basically just Ankita's team and Mackle's team who had decent positions, and their battle was the most intense one probably. Of
Mhm.
course, RakaZone once again proving that they are the kings of staging. Last time they were able to wipe out Team Arm Power in the same spot. This time they were able to beat Team Meow 16K. And then Beg for Mercy. These guys had a very, very
Yep.
difficult battle right here. I'm actually very surprised that they were able to survive against this one, because Raman's squad was not the only one that they were fighting. And of course, later on they had to get a couple of free kills on the Team Robo as well, which is a little anticlimactic once again. But Mackle's team, on the other hand, had a very different path from Mercy's team. They were both wiping out squads on their way into the circle, and then when they fought each other, that was like a clash of the titans.
Yeah, Arm Power, they were trying their hardest to try and circumvent any of the pressure that they could from the side of Team Mackle, but it just wasn't the case. Team Mackle, they hunted them down right at the very end. Beautiful shots as well from the side of Northern Breeze to take down the last two players. And with that, they were the ones to possibly win everything out here. Even Sick Warriors and his squad, they tried, but against the side of Team Ankita, they were just not able to survive here. They got taken down piece by piece. Then Team Mackle came around the corner. They took the fight against the side of Team Ankita, who had the better positions. And in that situation, Pro just like an absolute madman. Runs inside of a Gibby shield and he's gonna be able to take down two. But the thing is, you're gonna get third party. There's gonna be a third party for the fourth party. And Axbacks, man. You have to give it to this guy to have absolutely incredible tracking, beautiful positioning, and also understanding how to take down your opposition every single time. Even though he was in the most high pressure scenario possible, he had no HP, he was on 1/4 of his health, and he still got the clutch for his team. That just goes to show how beautiful the side of Beg for Mercy can be when they're under high pressure scenarios, when they're able to get those fair gunfights every single time. And in this situation, they got those fair gunfights. The squad fights were very fair, except for the very end, of course. Axex taking out three players. Yeah, that should not have happened in whatever dimension that we're.
Exactly. And when you see Axpack's tracking, it is so immaculate. Like, I still can't believe how he was able to get that frag onto Xprudge while he was still midair. That too with the R99 of all weapons. Like, that's just ridiculously good. And then, of course, you're able to spray down everyone else who stands in your way. So definitely Axpack is a player that you need to watch out for. I mean, there were two people who were kill leaders, both of them with 8 kills each. One of them was Xprudge, and then what was it Axpack who stole the kill leader, or was it Northern Breeze? do think that it might have
It
been
was
Axpac
Northern Breeze. It was Northern Breeze.
or it was Northern
Yeah.
Breeze. Hey, either way, all these three names, we've seen them dominate all the Apex tournaments that have happened in the country so far, no matter which team they play for. And it is just really, really good to see them back in action. Now, this game was pretty close. I think all the top three teams would have had a similar amount of kills. Of course, all the placement points will be different.
Yep.
But once again, Northern Breeze is able to get his team into a nice top three position. So they will be definitely happy, even if they don't win the game. We'll take a look at the standings soon enough, and then we'll see which team is where. I mean, last time we saw Team Sway come up in second place. I don't think this time they were around.
Yeah, they were just getting caught out in a very unfortunate situation. They had two squads chasing after them. As soon as they landed in between two squads, so they were just not able to loot up in time. They got caught between a rock and a hard place. And in that situation, you don't have anything to do. It's just lie down, play dead, and maybe try and survive with one of your players and try to play for the placements. Even that did not happen for the side of Team Sway, so it's fine. Like they can come back even stronger. They still do have 14 points on their card, so in a way, if they're just able to get a couple of points, maybe like 5 or 6, they are going to be in the running to say the very least, and they're still going to be in a pretty good spot to try and take that number one away from the side of Team Mackle. Because Team Mackle, they're still going to hold that number one. It's not going to be going anywhere because of the massive lead that they set for themselves right off the get go and the massive number of kill points that they have right here and right now. Now, the main thing that I really want to highlight is that the side of Beg for Mercy, how did they actually take this win away? The fact is, they had the better positioning and they actually waited to take a lot of their engagements. When you see at the bare minimum of 8 squads already alive, it's the last circle. You need to wait and see the first initial engagements. They came in right at the very end. They were the third squad to take that fight. They waited for Team Mackle to finish their engagement. They waited for all the other squads to show themselves, and then they went in for the push. What is the main cause? What is the main reason for this? Because if you wait until the top very last seconds, when all the 5 squads have already shown themselves, you can systematically take your 1v1 fights against a lot of the other squads. That's what Beg for Mercy did. They waited for Mackle to finish the fight. They immediately pounced on Mackle. They knew for a fact that there was going to be another squad right behind them. They turned around immediately, snapped their fingers, killed them all. And at the same time, Northern Breeze dying out there is something a little bit anticlimactic. Even I didn't expect that. I thought this was going to be an intense 1v1 engagement between the two players, but that just did not happen. But hey, it was a Lion King story right then and there. It was Mufasa versus Scar. He was just holding on to the ledge, man. And he's like, oh, I see you there. Bye-bye, Mufasa. We're gonna
Yeah, and
miss you.
he did not just fall down from a great height, he fell into a pit of lava. So Northern Breeze has absolutely no chance of comeback.
Hey,
At
those
least
are the
Mufasa
possibles.
at least Mufasa had his son bidding goodbye to his dead body. This time, none of that is going to happen. His teammates were already dead long time ago. So, really good performance over here by by the winning team. And they were, yeah, sure, it was a little anticlimactic, but it was such a different vibe
It's
from
a
the
good
previous
build-up.
game. Yeah,
It's
such a
a good
different
build-up.
vibe from the previous game. I said that caustics might be important considering, the first game and how
Mhm,
Team Mackle was able to defend it. But in an open ground like this, the Gibraltar becomes a little more relevant than the caustic.
mhm,
We did see Team RakaZone run the caustic, but they were completely shredded and nothing could be done.
mhm. The main reason why RakaZone did lose out here in my eyes is because they were running the Caustic and the Gibraltar. They didn't have much more of that aggressive
Mhm.
option. So in a way, they did fall when it came down over onto that. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, the game standings are ready. So let's head on down over onto that and see exactly how many points each of these teams have taken. And oh my god, Beg for Mercy. I didn't think you had this many kill points, my man. 27. I don't think that Team Mackle is safe. They still have 20 points to work with, but at the same time, Team Mackle with 20 and RakaZone with 10? What's the point discrepancy here, man? Groups, this is what?
This is absolutely ridiculous. At one point, on one hand, you have a team who is at almost 30, and then half the server has less than 3 points. So, really, what kind of a distribution is this? This is absolutely unfair. The amount of dominance that 8-bit Back for Mercy showed in this game. Even Team Mackle, for that matter, sure, they were able to get a decent performance in the previous game and a 20-pointer in this one. Make sure that they will be on top of the overall standings. But Back for Mercy is coming really, really close. 24 points was a big deal, which we saw in the previous game, but then 27 now, I think it's not going to be long before we see some of the other team drop a 30 bomb. and they'll have to wipe out 6 squads for that, right? So like Bet for Mercy, they wiped out 5 squads. If they wipe out 6, they'll hit the 30 bomb. God damn
They're
it.
just waiting for it though, dude. The fact that they're waiting for something like this, it's kind of incredible. We never really expected Beck for Mercy and his squad to perform to this caliber initially because they don't have the best track record when you consider what happened in the first initial invitational. They were a little bit lackluster. They were not able to perform to the best of their own abilities, but it seems like they did their homework. They've been grinding Apex a lot. And hey, they're now here to show exactly what they can do. Having 12 placement points, 15 kill points, and then getting a total of 27 right off the get go on game number 2 just goes to show that they mean business. Team Mackle, they got caught out, but at the same time, being able to place 20 with so much pressure being on you just goes to show that Team Mackle, they're a team that can completely shut down pretty much everything. And hey, Northern Breeze, right at the very end, he was able to do a lot for his team. If he's able to get that second spot by throwing himself into lava, hey, who am I to judge?
Well, I mean, people have thrown people into lava as sacrificial offerings for, I don't know, food grains or something like that. But pretty sure that was not what was on Mackle's mind when that happened. Northern Breeze was just trying to
Pretty sure it
survive,
was.
and there were barely any places left to hide. So
It
he
was a
took a jump
sacrifice
pad.
to
He
the
tried to
Apex
get out of
gods.
there.
No, no, no. It was a sacrifice to the Apex gods. Please give us the second position, please. And hey, the Apex gods, listen.
You
They
could have
like the
asked for
taste of
more.
crispy. No, they like the taste of crispy blood.
Oh, I know you're gonna stop making that joke. Either way, oh whoa, okay. Mackle's team still has a decent enough lead, a 13-point lead over Beg for Mercy. Now, I think that's pretty good. Bloodline and Ankita now just 1 point away from each other. I think both of them will be pretty satisfied considering neither of these teams had a decent performance this time around. Ankita's team, sure, they were able to put up a little bit of a fight, but they couldn't survive against Mackle and Beck for Mercies. And especially when they got caught in between these two teams, that was like walking into a meat grinder. You're getting shot from every direction and nowhere left to run, nowhere left to hide. That's probably why Northern Breeze has dropped down into the pit of lava because he knew that nobody will follow him down there and hunt him down.
Yeah, that was really smart play coming on down through from his side. He didn't really expect Axmax to survive through like 3 different squads. He just wanted a couple of placement points to work with. Hey, if he knew that Axmax was this goaded, I think that he would have stayed up top and he would have waited for Axmax to finish his fight, take down all the players, and then go in for his own engagement against him in a direct 1v1. It did not happen. You cannot expect something like that. And hey, Team Mackle, good job from their side to get the placement points on their end. So in a way, they're still going to be able to take the number 1 position for themselves. But honestly, here, Crips, I don't think we can crown a champion for day number 1, not just yet, because it feels like Beck for Mercy, they are going to be the ones to be right on the tail of Team Mackle if they're not careful. But at the same time, the biggest question that I have in my eyes is what's happening towards the side of Team Hydroflip. Once again, they're falling way too short. And when you consider the first initial invitational, Team Hydroflick, they're the ones who are the proud favorites to take that number 1 position away.
Exactly. And at this point, we've just been discussing the top 4 teams. Hydroflix team also has a lot of good players and they do have a lot of potential to win. But then let's not forget about the other 11 streamers who are participating in this battle and they have just single digit points. These guys have been absolute no shows and it's almost like they aren't even trying. They're just becoming cannon fodder of a team Mackle and Beg for Mercy at this point.
It's just difficult for them. It feels like they're out of their element, and hopefully they're going to be able to, warm themselves up a little bit more as more of the matches go by. But they need to warm themselves up quickly because consider something. The matches are nearly over. We're already on the second game. We're going to be moving on down on the third. Then there's 2 more. You need to show up on the third game. You need to get yourself on the board. You need a win for yourself, not just placement points anymore. You need a win to make sure you're in the running for the top 5 positions. That's where you get the prize money. That's where all of the glory is at. If you're not able to get there, you're pretty much not going to be getting anything here moving on down the line. So, in a way, now is the time to show up the most. Now is the time you need to try and switch up your strategies, try something a little bit more different, and then try to go in for a lot of these different engagement fights. So in a way, let's just see what happens in map number 3, because I personally do believe that map number 3 could just be the exact same showcase of skill that we saw in map number 2, or it could be extremely fast, just as map number 1, where the fights were happening all across the map. Nothing, like, there was not even a single second of slow pacing coming on down from any of the teams until the very end. But at the same time, it could be really slow right off the get-go, and then in a matter of a second, we're going to be snapping our fingers and going into the match to see exactly how the teams are going to be playing off here. Because consider something here, Chris. If they are going to be playing it slow, they're not going to be getting as many kill points right off the start. They're not going to be thinning out the competition. And the thing is, in this situation, you need to thin out the competition as much as possible. If you're able to take down Team Mackle and beg for mercy right off the get-go, then you're going to have a chance of trying to take the number 1 and number 2 spot. Otherwise, they're going to keep their position stable, and you have no way of trying to stop them.
Definitely. And I think at this point, you've really just set the tone over here. You set the pace of the game. So let's take a look at where these guys are going. We have Team Beg for Mercy inside of Lava Siphon, just like last time. Meow 16k in Big Mod. But it's always Harsh versus RakaZone inside of
Oh my
staging.
god!
And they don't even have the guns. Yeah, this is just a muscle flex at this point. They're fighting each other with their bare fists. Will they be able to win this one, though? Gamer's Time gets his hands on a Prowler, and he's able to finish off some people or the other. But is that going to be enough, though? Staging... Well, you can see in the kill feed that RakaZone has his hands on a Peacekeeper. Probably one of the best weapons for a close-range battle. But still, the battle of staging is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, that fight was already happening down over to that side, and a little bit questionable what went down there. We will know pretty soon here, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, Team Angida, they're at their own launch site now. They're just waiting here. They're not going to be going in for any sort of an engagement. They just want to see what to expect coming on down through from their opposition. This place has a lot of good loot, but it also is highly contested for Team Angida. They spot out another squad right off the get-go. They're on the other side. But premature shots from the side of Begum, it's gonna give away their positions here. Now, they need to make a choice. It's either go back or go front. And Begum is just toying with the feelings of his opposition.
Target over there.
Hey, consider this, Ankita, because these guys are all the way down south, these guys probably won't be in any danger, at least as of yet. But then, if they have control over this part of the map, and if they are able to retain control, then this will become very important. The first ring, it's not going to be anywhere close to them. But now back in Countdown, it's Team Robo who wants to initiate. Let's see if they'll be able to do this one. Last time, Robo's team had a little bit unfortunate luck because they ran out of internet. Yep, that's right, they lagged out. All of their players, the Kippy, did not have an internet towards the end, but this time they have everything. Ronnie with the first knock of the L-Star, that's good. Robo, the captain himself, has been knocked down. The Mastiff only good for one, but Ankita's team will be able to win it in the end. And they eliminate Team Robo.
Yeah. Team Robo, they went in for that engagement prematurely. They didn't go in for the first initial sets of poke damage. And going in for fights like that all at once without trying to poke your enemies just a little bit, try and go in for the chip damage battle, is a pretty bad idea, especially when you don't know how many players are still holding on down inside of that building. Which positions are they trying to hold? Are they under any form of pressure? Because if they're not under any form of pressure, they're not going to miss those shots. They're easily going to be able to track you down and take you out as well. But now, Team Hydroflip, they're going in for their own fight. Spotted on one of the squads inside the building, and hey, they're going in for it. 95 damage on one with that Peacekeeper. Even though he was using the choke, still the damage is going to be good. The shots are going to be clean, and that's going to be one player already down. It's going to be, I mean, even getting taken down right off the get-go, and oh no, you just did not do it.
Yeah, the finish is a pretty good way to refresh your shields without spending any cells or batteries.
And also BM at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta rub your salt into their wounds. That's the best way to play Apex, of course. I think that's the most satisfying feeling as well. Being able to pull off a complete finisher without being taken down or being challenged by anyone else. But yeah, now that they're able to kill one, Armpower's sights are on them. Somehow the nades connect, even though Armpower's team is going in the completely different direction towards Lava Fisher.
And that's a little bit of damage they can add onto their shields. In a way, it's not the worst thing. You know, trying to make the best of everything here. They're going to be able to survive, but at the same time, Team Meow 16k, they're going in for their own ref push, but I think they placed the ultimate a little bit too prematurely.
Yeah, I think so too. They haven't found their opponents just yet. Or maybe the opponents were smart enough to run away from them the moment they saw that Revenant ultimate being activated, and now they've run out of that protection. They're entering the tunnels which lead them towards the geyser, But without any death protection, this can be a very treacherous place to fight, and not too much movement ability as well over there.
No.
But on the other hand, Mackle's team is in a little bit of trouble. They've already lost Sprudge, and the chances of him being revived is really, really less. Sick Warrior is the one team that they're up against, and instantly they have a 2 versus 3 advantage. They also have the better shields over here, but when they step into the Thermites and the gas protecting them, to some extent it might be good, but Northern Breeze, he's able to get one back. 2v2. Shiva going for the big moves. He's trying to go for a little bit of a rotational push, but no, the void time, he will cancel it at the right moment, and that's it. Well, this is the opportunity that everyone else has been looking for. With Team Mackle out of the picture, so many people in the lobby will be very happy. Especially Sick Warrior. He's not been having a very good game so far. But now that they eliminate the #1 team, everyone else will be happy. Especially Ankita, because they're able to finish off their opponents with melee punches.
It just goes to show that now the #1 spot is up for grabs. Team Back for Mercy, they should still be alive. If they are still alive, they're going to take that #1 without any contest whatsoever. No one's going to be the one to take them out if they don't die early here, but still, Arm Power, they're going in for their own engagements. They're going in for their own shot. They spot out one of the teams. They're making their way down inside of the building, but Arm Power, they don't want to give up this high ground. This high ground is just so crucial for them to take, but at the same time, they're not inside of the zone. So they need to make a decision with 1 minute 24 seconds left on the clock. It's either go in for this fight against the team who's holding inside of the building, or go in for a wraparound rotation around the entirety of one side. It's all up to them. They need to make a decision here. It's either go for it or just run away from this.
Fighting on the bridge. Both teams being present over here definitely is not as risky as being inside that house, because then you can get flanked from anywhere. But of course, over here, the chances of you getting third party are also pretty high. We already knew that there is... oh wait, that was on power, right? So they came down from Lava Fisher to this spot. They knew that there is a team inside of Skyhook as well, so they are aware about the risks. But Meow 16K, these guys are in a little bit of danger. TBone 2. It's a good thing, yeah. And this is actually pretty surprising, right? We have barely ever seen any lifelines. And because I know Krat personally, I know that Lifeline is his favorite character, but let's be honest, it's not in the meta right now. Everyone else is using all the other agents. Like, let's say, for example, they always have one scanner.
Is that a Revenant becoming Spider-Man? Is that Revenant becoming Spider-Man in the background? I was like, wait, did I just see Spider-Man climbing up a container?
Well, I mean, I don't know about Spider-Man, but you definitely have a combat medic on your team, so that's good. T-Bone's team, at least they have the, the luxury of getting all their players back online once again. Sway, on the other hand, might not have the same luxury. Paradox has stepped into his team now, and we've seen Paradox play a lot of good Valorant, but on Apex, I'm not sure if he's competed before. He's been killed now, so Dr. Evil is the last man standing, but he might just be able to catch his opponents off guard.
Oh.
Nope, I spoke a bit too soon. Axeback is the one who finishes them off. And Beg for Mercy definitely will be very happy, because they just killed Team Sway, and at the same time, their strongest opponent, Mackle, has already been killed, so this is a win-win for them.
Arm Power, they're just going in for it, man. They just flew up. They got the one first initial kill down on the one team, but they're just not going to be able to survive inside of the zone. You cannot take risky fights like this. Arm Power, they're in the worst possible spot. Last player is going to be the remaining. Ankita's team is also getting shot down from multiple different angles. They can't stay here for long. They're all inside of the zone. They need to make a decision to try and get out of this. And now the kill leader is going to be big of getting 5 more kills onto the back end, and he's going to be the kill leader with 5 kills and another one. Sick Warriors, he's gonna go in for the BM. He doesn't need it. One player just smacks one with a hammer as well. TBone just got smacked, and I'm very sure that TBone's really mad. I really want to see what's happening on his stream, but I can't right now.
Yeah, definitely. Sick Warrior did that to TBone on purpose. Both of these guys are friends in real life, and of course, there's a little bit of camaraderie in between the two. But when you see bad manners like this, of course, there's gonna be a few words exchanged after the game.
Yeah,
Either way, you're done.
I'll check it later.
Either way, at this point, we're down to the last 9 teams, and we're still on the second ring. This means this circle is going to be a lot more spaced out, and we won't see as many fights. Now, we've already seen plenty of fights break out in different parts of the map, but we've barely seen any third-party, fourth-party action just yet.
Yeah, they're just all playing it slowly, but at the same time, I think the pacing is a lot more in tune with map number 1 in comparison to map number 2, where all the teams, they were playing it much more slowly. They were not really going in for the fights as we expected, but it's fine. Positions are good and the holds are strong. So let's see what we can expect here. One player's in top of the bridge, and I do believe the RakaZone and his squad, they have seen it, but at the same time here, Crips, I don't like the fact that RakaZone and his squad is constantly holding down this one building. It's getting a little bit too repetitive, and in one situation, they're not inside of the zone anymore. They need to make a move. They're waiting here for way too long. And in this situation, they cannot risk staying here for anymore.
We could check out here.
Yeah. At least they have the jump pad and the Octane available for them, so they can get to Harvester without any trouble whatsoever. But again, these guys have gone for an even more defensive approach now. The Gibby and the Caustic, sure, they have all sorts of versatility. I mean, a super defensive lineup. Let's see if it actually pays off dividends, because in the ring, it's taking them north. Alright, there you go. So you have Geyser, which is basically unoccupied. You have a little bit of Lava City still inside the circle. You have Big Mod as well, which is currently occupied by Team Bloodline. Lava Siphon, well under control of Team 8-Big Mercy. But they are now getting attacked by Ronnie. And they're... Wait, I think they might be getting attacked by Ankita's team, because they just took a jump tower and they're about to land close to Lava Siphon, but they might have spotted them. So that's why instead of going directly towards Lava Siphon, they're taking the S corridor and they try to move in from that side. But what they don't know is that there are two more teams coming exactly from that spot.
This way.
No, already Hydroflick and his squad's gonna be going in for the first initial 5. Oh no, Shreeman's Legends. His team is just not gonna be in a pretty good position now. They need to go in for a fight. They have no loot to work with as well. Hydroflick's gonna be the one to take down 2 more players, and with that, Shreeman's team is getting taken down in a matter of seconds. Nothing to really worry about. Hydroflick and his squad should be good, but oh no, they're taking so much damage from the one player that was at 1 health. That was really close for comfort, but the shots are being taken from the back as well. LFT Genius from the side of Meow 16K's team knows what to expect and knows for a fact that he can just go into this engagement. But Sick Warriors, they just waited for it. They knew that if they just wait for just a little bit longer, they're going to be the ones to take down their opposition. Great Portal has been placed on the other side, while the last member from the side of Hydroflick, they need to make their own rotation play. Ankita's getting stuck between a rock and a hard place. Her team needs to try and push the positions as fast as they possibly can here, because being stuck inside of this building as of right now is such a bad idea. Yes, you have 1 minute 36 seconds remaining on the clock, but you need to go. You need to get out of here and get yourself into a better spot.
Sick Warrior does have a Spitfire, so that's a nice airdrop weapon that he has under his control. But Ankita's team, now they're going for some big moves. They're placing the teleporters just outside the door, and they're trying to go around the other side of Lava Siphon. This could be big. If they're able to make this rotation successfully, then this will be a rather flawless move. And they make it. They take a little bit of damage onto Ronnie 301, but that's completely okay. And they've put down the defensive bombardment as well, so that the enemies can't use the same thing and push them. Of course, they can still come in via the jump pads on the first floor, but the moment they move inside, they get stunned by the Gibraltar's ultimate. And exactly at that moment, Flexi decides to peek out. That's going to be the end of Fat Monster. Emotional Mercy himself, the captain, trying to move inside, will be met with a very unfortunate fate. And the timing of this push was absolutely unfortunate. The moment they landed, they got hit with the defensive bombardment of that Gibraltar, and they got stun locked, so they couldn't fight back. Axpac, the only person who did not follow his teammates to their deaths, now has to just stare at their dead bodies. He knows where his opponents are, but he can do nothing about it.
That's gonna be one of the biggest projects that we faced here. The main thing that we can really talk about now is that the squads, they're gonna be slowing things down just a little bit, but not too much, because now Ankita and her squad, they're pretty much at max. They have everything on their side. They have nothing to worry about. The shots are going to be clean. The positions are going to be good as well. So what are they actually worrying about in general? Because now the position that they are in, they can easily cut off any sort of rotation that could be coming on down from their opposition. And they can easily go in for pushes as well. They did spot out one of the players. They're just going to go in for that fight. They're going to be going in for that swing. One has gold armor, so they need to be careful. This is a full squad. They're pretty much in the open. And this is dangerous. The raid nearly gets taken down. He's gonna run on away, but at the same time, there's another squad right on the right side. They're all the ones trying to get themselves inside of the zone at the bare minimum, but I don't think that any of the other squad members are gonna be letting them go in here. Sick Warriors, they also have a pretty good squad. They can gatekeep this for as long as they want. And Team Angita, they're stuck between this.
Oh no!
Oh, look at that tracking.
The Spitfire, it absolutely shreds, and Shiva finally puts RakaZone out of his misery. And they're getting taken down at the edge of this yellow bus thingy. Honestly, Sick Warriors team can go in and finish them off right here and now, but they don't want to leave their position just yet in fear of getting third-partied. But this scan will probably reveal all that they need to know. They are kind of in a 2 versus 3 situation, so nobody else around them as well. They definitely can go ahead and fight them. It's just them versus Gamerstein and one unit, and the Spitfire in their hands. They can obviously go ahead and shred everyone they need. Give you shields out in the open so that the startup guy can't shoot them back from far away. And even if they do get shot, they can always come back to their original lava siphon building and continue holding down the spot. The only problem is, now they're not the only ones inside of Lava Siphon. Ankita's team has arrived on scene as well. But Ankita is kind of outside the zone, so they need to rush Team Sick Warrior, which can be difficult considering that the building is very far away. The only way over there is probably via ziplines or going from downstairs, which could put you at a risk.
Diving into lava, I think, would be the best possible situation for them. But at the same time, I think they're just going to go in for a wraparound. With the wraparound, they're still going to be inside of the zone. But position is just not going to be as favorable for them as you would have expected. But Angita's squad, they're in the best possible spot here. I initially thought that, hey, Sick Warriors, they could just take out Angita's squad because they were going in for the same push on the same players trying to rotate in from Harvester, but that was just not the case. They're going to be able to survive, but beyond 16k, the last player was Genius. I don't know. Poor old Genius just got caught out by Startup Guy right around the corner. He's looking for one more. He's going to get caught out by 3 more squads right in front of him. They're hunting him down. And Bloodline, they know what they expect. They have nothing to worry about. They're like, hey, Startup Guy, come back here. I'm going to start up your career right now with a judge and with a EVA 8 on my hands. And with that, that's going to be another one for their side. And with that, 3 more squads remaining. There's nothing that you can do here. Team Bloodline, they're going to get caught. They're rocking a hard place. They need to go in for that push, but right above them, I do believe is Team Ankita. And that should just... No, it's actually Sick Warriors being the ones to take them down. And Team Ankita, they're just waiting. They know for a fact they don't have to do anything. Right on the other side, it's going to be the side of Sick Warriors, and as soon as they're done with this fight, they're going to jump on in and take the win for themselves.
Sick Warriors team on top of this bridge. While they're out in the open, they don't need to worry. They have the Kippy for cover. They have a rock facade too. They have a couple of opponents underneath them, but now they need to focus on the others. Sick Warriors team, both of them exchanging scans back and forth. Caustic gas trying to come inside, but Ankita versus Sick Warrior going on right now, and the EVA 8 absolutely slaps. Begum unfortunately gets peeked by Ravi and Shiva at the same time, but Shiva will be traded out. Massive from top, Flaxy trying to come inside, and he's gonna be successful in eliminating Team Sick Warrior. Great job by Team Ankita.
What's the last squad remaining? Is it Bloodline? Yeah. Are they still alive?
I'm not really sure. I kind of lost track of this one, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. The more important question is, where's the last squad? And with that scan, they find out.
Yeah, that's Bloodline. That's Bloodline. This is the squad that Sick Warriors were actually fighting initially. They were not able to finish them off. And hey, Angela, they don't need to do anything here. They can just wait up here, wait for like 5 days, 5 centuries, and they're still going to be fine. It's because this is only 2 players. They could just go in for the jump down and kill them off, but I don't think they're going to be going in for it. They don't want to risk anything here. They want that number 1 spot. They're gonna get it no matter what happens here.
And they have the better position too.
Champions. Yeah, we can just crown them. You don't have to worry.
Exactly. I mean, Team Bloodline is gonna have to shoot their way through this one. There's nothing that they can do to get the positional advantage. They're on the low ground and they're outside the zone. And unfortunately, the only way inside the ring is climbing up this little cliff, which is already being guarded by all the members of their opponents. So there's absolutely no way upstairs. Unless, obviously, they're able to, out-aim them straight up. But then, even that will be difficult, considering Bloodline himself has just a blue shield, while all his opponents are on red shields. And now the ring comes in. The funny thing that they can do is just dive to the zone.
Oh, yeah, don't give them the points. Don't give them the points.
Exactly.
Dive to the zone, my man. No, don't run away from him. Don't give him the kill points, man. He's just running away. He's trying to survive. He's like... Gotta go fast. He's gonna go fast, but he's gonna die out as well. Come on, punch him to death. Do it. Punch him.
They did it. They heard you. A little bit of bad manners. I don't think you should be encouraging to. You should be encouraging them to do all this. Nah, that's.
Oh,
Come
come
on,
on, right?
aggressive.
They're all friends. Come on. They're all friends, just like you and me. We can do a little bit of bad manners to each other. We roast each other on cast pretty much all the time. Now, don't.
Yeah, of course. But then roasting is a different thing than getting punched to death by your closest friends. Especially all three of them at once, just trying to, pack one in your face. It's a little embarrassing like that. But hey, I mean, the big congratulations to Team Ankita. We thought that with the elimination of Team Mackle, Mercy's team will be happy, but then Ankita's team was like, hey, you're forgetting about us. And now all the top three teams are going to be super close to each other in terms of points.
Yeah, they're gonna be really close in general. But the thing is, I didn't really expect this to be like the way it's going on right now. Initially, we crowned Team Mackle, then we crowned Beck for Mercy, and now we're crowning another squad as the winner. That really does not happen as often, and it feels like after the first invitational, it was very one-sided with Team Mackle and Team Hydra like constantly just swapping out wins against one another. Then came the Rise of Legion event, where we saw all the teams spread out every single win. No team got more than one win. Maybe just one more team, maybe got one or two wins here and there. And now we're here on the Streamer Invitational once again, comparing it to Streamer Invitational number 1. This is a lot more even. It feels like every single one of these players, they have grown so much throughout the last, 2-3 months? Yeah, it's been 3 months since the last Streamer Invitational. Over the course of these 3 months, every single one of these streamers and their teams have grown so much that they're able to put up performances like this, take down juggernauts such as Mackle, Hydroflake, and even Beck for Mercy, and to take it up this far just goes to show how much time and effort can do to you and your skills if you put in the practice. And with this side of Apex Legends, it feels like it's getting more and more competitive day by day, and these streamers, with the stakes this high, they're putting up their A game on the table, that is for sure. And Team Ankita, they're the ones to prove themselves here on the battleground once again for map number 3. And hey, they shoot up from right at the very bottom all the way up to the very top here. And I do think they're going to be the ones to dethrone the side of Beck for Mercy, because Beck for Mercy, I do believe they died out really early here.
Yeah, not as early as Team Mackle, of course,
Yeah.
but not enough to cover the difference that those teams have. I mean, in the last game, we found out that there's a difference of 17 points between number 1 and 2. So has Beck for Mercy done enough to cover that gap? I'm not really sure. We'll find out when we take a look at the score screen. But first, the highlights, because this match was full of them.
Yeah, from right off the get-go, though, the fisticuff battles between Hirsch and the squad that they were facing was a little bit funny. I didn't expect that to happen, but hey, I love those fisticuff battles. I sometimes always say that to Assassin as well. I'm playing with him. He's like, I'm honestly telling him half the time, just go in for the fight, dude. Punch him to death. Do it. It adds a little bit more fun, because we always use guns in so many different FPS games, but in what game are we actually able to punch people to death? Doesn't really happen in any game other than Apex. So in these type of situations, hey, the battles were fun, the battles were clean, and it felt like the streamers were enjoying themselves throughout the entire stages. There were not really a lot of high pressure scenarios that they were being put into, except for Arm Power right here, who went in for a push inside of the zone. There were not really a lot of those scenarios being done, but in a way the rotations were good, the positions were strong, but at the same time it's not the best. Sick Warriors, though, on the other hand, they had a banger of a run throughout this entire match. I didn't expect this, did you, Chris? Because Sick Warriors, them being able to go up till the very end like that, cleaning up squads left, right, and center as they were making their pushes happen, was a big surprise for me. And so was the rise of Team Ankita. I personally did not believe they were going to be the ones to be able to make it, but their positioning and their tracking and their aim through the entire game was so consistent that even Sick Warriors were not able to take them down.
I still can't get over the fact that Ankita's team had that very well-timed defensive bombardment, and that was basically able to stun their enemies as they tried to get on top. But we had a lot more melee action. We saw Scorpion trying to go for some punching, and Sick Warrior all the way up until the very end had a really good position on top of this bridge. But then when they faced Team Ankita, it was Flexi and his EVA 8 that made all the difference in the world. No, wait, sorry, not the EVA 8. It was the Mastiff. Anyway, whatever shotgun he has in his hands, it's going to suit him really well.
Yeah, the Mastiff's just such an amazing weapon. It's like that budget Peacekeeper that you can have on your side all the time. And sometimes I kind of question, do you want to pick a Mastiff or do you want to pick a Peacekeeper? Personally, in my eyes, I'm a Peacekeeper guy because season 0, I'm an OG. I always will love the Peacekeeper. That's my one true love. And sometimes I'll pick up the Eva 8 when I'm absolutely getting demolished by other people because I'm using Peacekeeper. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things that you really want to keep on your cards. The Massive, though, a little bit more questionable because of the amount of damage and its inconsistencies, but it's still a really strong weapon if you're able to use it on a medium to close proximity. So in this situation, Imangita, they were able to use it beautifully. And Flixie, his tracking, chef's kiss. He deserves to take this win for his squad. Beautifully done from the side of Team Ankita. They were able to survive. They were able to give a very strong hold for their end. But at the same time, I personally will say that a lot of the other squads that were down at the very bottom, they were also able to make their rise here. Primarily Sick Warriors being able to completely shut down any form of opposition being done and also being able to take down Team Mackle. That is a performance that you can be really.
Definitely. Them being able to take down Team Mackle is probably the cherry on top of the cake. But
Mhm.
not all the teams capitalized on it as much as I thought they would. We'll take a look at the standings soon and we'll see if Mackle is still on the top or not. I think he
I
might
don't
be on the
think
top,
so.
but I don't know. My math might be weak, but
They were
even if
died out on
he's
the 14th. Yeah, they were the 14th squad to get taken down, so they do believe they only have 1 point for the terms of placements.
yeah, but they had a 17-point buffer. Do you think Back for Mercy has done enough to cover those 17
I
points?
don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, either. So whether or not Mackle is still on top, the difference will just be down to like 3 or 4 points. Maybe even less than that. We'll find out, ladies and gentlemen. Enough theory crafting. Let's jump into the numbers.
Yeah. Let me look at the standings though. Whoa. 28 points. We're getting closer and closer to the 30, man. I think that we have not seen this many 28-point games in a really long time. Like every single game, all of these teams are going above 20, which makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah, but this game is so much closer than the others. Like, take a look at all the top teams. They have 28 points on Ankitov, which is, again, ridiculously high. But then Sikvari and Hydra Flick have 17 and 12 points each. Bloodline has 11. The single digits start from the fifth position, but it's 7-6-5-4. It's very different from last time where
Balance.
all the other teams had like 3-1-1 points or something like that. So this is a lot more closer than before.
It's very close, but at the same time, just to answer your question here before Cribs, saying that Beck for Mercy, they're just not going to be able to do it. They had
Yeah.
a 13-point buffer, if I remember correctly, and that 13-point buffer is not going to happen here. 6 points, they are able to do something here, but at the same time, Team Mackle getting 1 point for themselves, something that I personally never believed that I would see because they're always the ones at the top, at the bare minimum on the top 3. Them not being there just goes to show that even when you are at the top of your game, even where you are the best in your entire region, you're still going to be the ones to fall down from time to time. And Team Mackle, they're going to take a back seat here and allow Team Ankeda to take over the throne once again, being able to get a win for themselves with 28 points, man. 28. Are we going to be seeing a 29-point game on game number 4? And in game number 5, we're going to be seeing the 30-point one? We never really know now, do we?
Ooh. Well, we might just see a 30 bomb in the next few games. We still have 2 more games left. But before we jump into those 2 games, let's see where all these teams stand. We did see that Mackle was on the top, and he's been dethroned by Team
Oh, I told
Ankita.
you. That's a massive jump, dude. Massive jump.
Yeah, they were on like 30 something points before this one, and now they're on 50. So that is ridiculous. I mean, 28 points in a single game. You were bound to reach half century.
Yeah. They were on 22 points previously because if my math's correct, they were on 22 points. And
Damn.
now
So,
being able to, yeah, quick maths with aggressivity.
I mean,
Like, I used
imagine.
to be a math student. I used to be an ASIC math student back in the day. So
Oh, good for
casual
you.
flex, casual
All
flex.
the teachers must have been super proud of you, eh? Either way, imagine scoring 22 points in 2 games. That's like 11 points on an average per game. And then you almost triple it with 28. So that is really, really crazy. You cover half the table in just a single game. And that just goes to show that if you have these pop off games of sorts, you don't even need to be super consistent. You just have one big pop off game and you will be on the top in no time. Like, take a look at Sick Warrior. These guys were barely in the top 8, and now they're in top 5 already.
Yeah, you just need that one strong game to get the ball rolling in your court once again. And Sick Warriors and of course Team Ankita, the biggest surprise in my eyes, them being able to take that number one away. But I personally do believe a lot of it does have to do with Sigmar is being able to take down Team Mackle right off the get-go. This is what I mean. They need to figure out a way to try and shut down their opposition before they can even take a breath. It's all about taking that number one team down as fast as possible. If you're going to be the ones to hunt them down, if you take them out, you have a chance of reaching that number one. You open up a lot of these avenues for a lot of the other teams and also yourself. I know in a way it's really bad to target players. You should never target other players and other teams because you want to take that number one away. But when you have such big prize monies at stake here, you sometimes need to do it. You sometimes need to target the opposition players. And now TBone they have a massive target on their back and they're inviting the other teams to come into their crosshairs and to try and contest their number one spot. Will they be able to rise up to the challenge and keep their number one position though on map number 4 is a real question now, Chris, because I do believe that Team Ankita under pressure, they falter a lot. And in this situation, are they going to be able to keep their position on map number 4 where the stakes are now even higher because they're at number 1?
Yeah, stakes are definitely higher. We're approaching the end of the day as well. Just 2 more games remaining, and you need to gather as many as you can if you want to have an advantage going into day 2. Of course, day 2 is going to be a completely different beast because then these guys would have had the chance to go ahead and take a look at the demo as well, see what happened in those games, learn from those mistakes. So they might be walking into tomorrow with more information and more actionable stuff because then they will know the patterns of all their opponents. They will know where they drop, how they rotate, and what kind of stuff to expect.
Yeah, you don't really know, not just yet, primarily because of the amount of different things that the teams are now pulling off here. But as game number 4 is being set up, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you, Chris, do you expect the game to be really quick? Do you expect the game to be really slow and methodical? Because game number 3, it was not as methodical as game number 2, but it followed a pace right in the middle of game number 1 and game number 2. Now in game number 4, I personally do believe a couple of the teams are getting a little bit too antsy, and I do think that we're going to be seeing a lot more of those hyper aggressive engagements where people just rushing each other down as fast as they possibly can. That's my theory, anyways. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of early game fights this time around. We did see them plenty of times in game number 3. But here's the thing about those early game fights. The chances of you getting third partied are not as high as it is in the last few circles of the game when all the teams are very close to each other. If you pick up an isolated fight in one particular corner of the map, the chances are that you'll be able to finish it off very early on. Of course, any fight that drags on longer than 30 seconds almost always ends up inviting a third party. But where the fight take place, that's also a little bit of something that teams need to keep in mind. So far, the teams have had their, respective drop locations pretty much uncontested. We've seen Team RakaZone for some reason getting contested every time on their drop locations. It's almost like everyone wants a little piece of staging, and RakaZone's team always goes there. But then one time they end up facing Team Ampower, the next time they end up facing Team Meow 16K. So yeah, staging is this one area that's been seeing a lot of early action. Other than that, all the other teams have been fairly uncontested early on in their drop locations, except for maybe Skyhook, where Team Hydraflick and Midfield like to go. But without further ado, let's jump into the 4th game of the day, ladies and gentlemen, and let's see where these teams decide to head.
It's going to be interesting to see what the positions are going to be this time around because considering all their spots now, they're once again heading on down over onto Lava Siphon, but it's a fast spread. None of the teams are landing on top of one another. They're all around multiple different centers here. One person is going to be holding down on Fragment East. One is going towards the side of Climatizer. One's on the survey camp, and one's on Epicenter. No one's going together, but Meow 16K, she should be going in for their own engagement, but one team's already going in for a fight. Looking down towards the right side of the map here, Crips. There are more than 4 squads. 8 squads, already taking fights over there.
Oh, damn. Well, Team Sick Warrior inside of Climatizer, these guys are going to be in a little bit of trouble. Surprisingly, nobody went to staging this time around. Even Team RakaZone has switched up their drop locations.
I think they heard their calls. Oh no!
Yeah. This is so unfortunate. Yeah, Team RakaZone has been facing early game battles in staging every time, and that's why they decided to change their drop locations. But even after going somewhere else, they are not out of danger. In fact, staging is completely empty this time. If RakaZone went to staging, they would have been uncontested. But instead, they go over to its outlook, and yeah, they're again in a little bit of danger. RakaZone himself has been knocked out already, and now they're trying to find their opponents. Where did they go?
positions are just gonna be as good though. Because RakaZone, they don't have much to worry about, but at the same time, a guy just came over and killed them and just ran away. What?
Yeah, just shoot and scoot.
Okay.
Get a knock, fall back. It's unfortunate that they were unable to confirm the kill, but hey, Kamu is being confirmed. Devil Race has been knocked out as well, and Shreeman Legend is the last man standing for his team. He does recover the banner, but I don't think Midfield's team is going to let him go. He's going to try to go for the res almost instantly,
Well,
but I think
don't
they'll
like
be able
it.
to find him.
Yeah, especially with the dropship now coming on down through soon enough. Shreeman and his team's not going to be in the best of spots. Midfield should be able to spot out Shreeman, but Shreeman's just not risking it. He needs to pick up one of his other teammates' banners though, but that teammate is in such a precarious position that Midfall should be the ones to take out Shreeman as well. They're just going down on towards the side of Geyser. They know for a fact that one person is going to come to pick up that banner, and they're not going to be going away from it for even a second. 84 seconds left on the clock for that banner, ladies and gentlemen. The fights are going to be taken, but Bloodline, they're going in for their own engagement against the side of Team Sway. Paradox and his gang are now under fire. Are they going to be able to come back here? It's a real question, but seeing the situation, I don't think that's gonna happen. Team Bloodline should be able to take it all away, but the shots are gonna be clean. Dr. Evil on towards the top and is gonna be able to take down Caesar's live. And now, with the third parties already present, Dr. Evil's gonna be able to take down 2, and with that, they're able to shut everyone down. Team Sway, they're still alive, they're still kicking, with Paradox being the one to go in for the final push onto the final thing.
Prowler in his hands, best for hipfire action,
Oh, no.
but no, Bloodline with the R99 is successful with the
Are you
spray.
serious?
Huh? What?
Wait, what?
Bloodline just killed everyone on Sway's team. He single-handedly wiped out the entire squad.
You're joking, right?
I am unfortunately not. But enough of Lava City. Now we have a fight just
no,
outside of
Mackle.
Overlook, and Mackle's team is the one that's in danger. Oh, never mind. Not in danger
Imagine
anymore.
them being in danger.
Yeah, they wiped out Raman Chopra's team.
Hey, if one person goes down, 2 more people are still alive to try and go in for that win. And I think that they're mad. After losing out like that early on game number 3, they are going to be playing it a lot more systematically. They are going to be playing it based upon their positioning and their trade potential. The trades were good. One player went down, another player swooped down from the sides, another player swooped down from the right as well. Take down their opposition with a pincer move, but at the same time, they need to be a little bit more careful from the side of Hirsch. His team gets caught out in a pretty bad spot, but the Gibraltar's outside the shield. Oh no! But it's fine. There was a bangle or smoke on top, so the Gibraltar didn't die. Oh no, Team Mackle has their phone number. Never mind, they are gonna die.
No, well, they're at least able to deal with Hyperion in a pretty fast manner. And the L-Star being sprayed at this long range with such good control, well, this is certainly a buff to be noticed. But Northern Breeze, he's gonna void walk to his opponents instead. And he finds him shielding on the rock cliff. That's it. Harsh's team has also been eliminated. Or at least they will be very soon. Unless they do something about it.
It's gonna be something interesting now because teams, they're just the ones to try and survive here. They're just the ones to try and maybe go in for a couple of their own plays, couple of their own kills. They have nothing to worry about. Team Mackle, they have a really strong position. They can easily slowly go in for a push. But at the same time, knowing Team Mackle, they're just gonna go around. Beautiful movement though from the side of Mackle, being able to jump down with high speeds, get into a better spot. But Mackle, he needs to get away from this. He cannot stay here for long. The longer he stays, the more of a bad position he's gonna be at. And with that, the Wingman, it's gonna pay some dividends, but at the same time, Chris, I love the Wingman personally, but after all of the nerfs that it had, it's just not as good anymore.
Robo walks into that grenade, and Ravi Gang is able to get the knock on him without any trouble. More to follow
Oh, yeah.
as Bearded Banda got flanked from above, and they're down to the last player. Oh, unfortunately, that's gonna be the end of him. Even
Oh,
Team
right.
Mackle is wiping the floor with them. But while this is happening, Mercy's team has found Shreeman Legend.
Yeah, it's just not gonna be happening right here and now. With that Mackle, they're just chilling. This entire squad is taking down other teams left, right, and center. I'm wondering how many kill points that they have already with all of their players getting kills every single time they try to go inside of the circle. Crunch literally just popping a Phoenix kit now. He has full shields, but he's still popping a Phoenix. That's how confident that is.
Yeah, I mean, for the lack of a med kit.
Or
You
even
wouldn't want to
Solar
have
Kit.
too many Phoenix kits in your bag anyway. They take up so much space, and when you don't have all the medkits to work with, this is not that bad. But both Team Mackle and Sick40 are now trapped outside the ring, and they're fighting against each other. The longer they stay there, the faster they'll run out of resources, and it might just turn into a lose-lose battle.
Making contact with enemy.
Holding the positions with Arm Power is right over the edge. He needs to be a little bit more careful, though. It spot out the players on the other side, but it's just not as expected. Positions are good. They're going to be able to rotate themselves inside of the zone. But they're not in a good spot, man. So is the side of Beg for Mercy, flying it through the air a little bit questionable. The position is going to be not as good as expected. And Beg for Mercy, they need to survive here because Team Mackle, they're slowly but surely inching closer and closer to try and close everything out here. But Team Mackle, they're inside of the zone. What kind of fight are they trying to take?
And they're not just fighting Team Sick40 anymore, they're also locked in a battle against Meow16k. So this has turned into a three-way affair now. And Meow16k, the captain herself, has been eliminated along with Syria. So that just leaves down to... I think that's they're left with just one player at this point. I'm not even sure if that's the case, or they might have just completely been eliminated. But it really does seem like Mackle's team doesn't care about moving into the zone. I mean, they're getting all the resources right here. They're getting all the kills and points right here, so why not? And Sick40 now starting to move away.
Dude, I don't like this. You know, if anyone is gatekeeping them, they have no more resources to take that fight. If they get caught out in the worst possible position, they're not going to be happy whatsoever. But Beg for Mercy and his squad, they're all happy. Just look at them. They're just chilling. They're just vibing. They have nothing to worry about. They have everything that they want. They even have a Loba giving them free loot. They're the ones to take this win if they play their cards properly.
Yeah. And now that they are inside Lava Siphon, they will be up against nothing but mid-fail. Keep in mind that in this situation, Sick40 is not the only team that's present over here. We also saw that Mercy's team was around this position just a few minutes ago. Not really sure where they would be right now, but this area is definitely not as calm as it seems to be right now, and Midfield's team will probably find that out in the hard way. What are these guys still doing outside the zone? They're just starting to approach Fragment right now. Exactly. Mackle, Sick40, both of them very towards the north of Fragment, and they're just about to reach the edge of the city. It's gonna be quite a while before they reach the edge of the circle, and by the time they do, the next circle will already start shrinking. Take a look. This circle takes us to the south of Harvester, which means they have a really long way to go. They have to cross Fragment, and then they have to cross the rock cliffs, and then Harvester. After that, they'll be able to reach a safe spot.
Yeah, they're running. They are running, but still, they're just not going to be able to slow down for even a second. 22 seconds left. The zone's going to start moving soon enough, and they just got to keep on moving. They cannot even stop to try and smell the flowers, and even take a deep breath, or even try and go in for a heal at this stage. I'm in a pretty bad spot, but at the same time, people who are in a good position are the side of Arm Power Gaming. Can easily get a better spot for themselves. Even now, Beg for Mercy as well. They have nothing to really worry about. The zone's right behind them. They have control inside of the zone. With Axebax being the one to get as much information for his team as possible. They're going into better spots. They're going on top of the hill inside of the zone. The scans are being taken as well. And Fat Monster's not going to be able to spot anyone out. But Thrill of the Hunt is still available. And he can use that to get into a better spot. But Arm Power Gaming, they're getting caught out by a couple of those players. They're dealing the damage. But they're still going to be able to survive using the balloon to get themselves into a better position. And now, Arm Power, they have nothing to worry about. They have no team chasing them, not just yet, but still with 8 squads remaining and the circle now closing on down in with Team Mackle and Sick Warriors right behind them. Arm Power, they cannot get too comfortable because they could be coming from anywhere. We don't know where they are. So any sort of a backstep could happen in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, but at least the good thing for Arm Power is the fact that they can gatekeep everyone else inside of Harvester.
Who's running inside of the zone? What?
Yeah, they're trying to go around all the way from Lava Siphon, and they're doing the third zone. This is a little too uncomfortable. They realize that if they try to move in from here, they will be gatekept by both Team Mercy and Team Armpower, who are already a little busy right now. But maybe going around the other side, Sick Warriors team will have a little bit of advantage. Unfortunately, they will still be spotted by Mercy's team when they try to come in from that S tunnel. So I don't know how good or bad this rotation will be. But TBone's team is rather safe, surprisingly. So that's something a little out of the blue.
Armpower, though, they're right next to one another. They see a squad, but they're just not going to be able to go for it, not just yet. So
Even midfield's team got eliminated.
what do they do here? Because considering all the positions all across the map, I don't see any safe haven here, Crips. Every single position that they could hold is a death trap.
Yeah, and speaking of death traps, Mackle's about to spring it. They're locked in a battle against Northern Breeze and Fat Monster. These are the top two teams going up against each other. It's Mercy versus Mackle. And let's see which one of these teams is able to win the battle of the top two. Let's see. Wait, they're not even the top two anymore. They're second and third rank respectively. And when these two teams fight each other, Ankita's team will be super happy about this. 2 versus 2. Fat Monster about to get back up on his feet. No time to heal him though. But Mercy and Axpac, they just whacked them in the face. But hold on, this is Team Sick Warrior that they're up against right now. I don't think they want to kick the Hornet's Nest. They can't fight two teams at the same time. Or can they? Axpac and Plus, they're definitely capable enough for this one. But Mercy himself has been eliminated. The captain down, his teammates still alive. Will Mackle be able to exact revenge for whatever happened to him in the previous game? I definitely think so. Counter scans all over the place as these three teams lock horns against each other. But while all of this is happening, Armpower comes in as the fourth party, and they're on top of this little rail yard, which means they can fall back if things start to go wrong for them. But Gaming can will be able to get the knock onto Mackle, and that's the opening that they've been looking for. It's enough. Armpower has been on the back for way too long, and this is the time they take the front seat.
That's Brudge? I think that's Brudge. Brudge has been taken down earlier here. So this is not a good position. Armpower Gaming, they have two of the best squads now under the ropes. Without Death for Mercy as well, things are just not going to be looking up for them. But still, Team Mackle, they're in a pretty good spot. No, Brudge is still alive. He's still kicking. He's just running around. He's going to be able to pick up Mackle at the bare minimum because they were not able to finish him off there. But now they're still in a pretty bad position. How do they actually go in for rotation? They need to go in for a push. They need to try and find something. Brudge, he's trying to be the one to open everything up here. The jump pads are all over the map. They have so many different movement tools in their arsenal, but with the circle now closing on down in, they need to make their way inside of the tunnels, and this tunnel could just be a death sentence if there's a trap waiting for them on the other side. If the opponent team just run away, if they try and hold the tunnels from the other side, there's no way that Team Mackle will be able to make their push forward. And you can already see Team Mackle, they're in such a bad spot, but their aim should be the thing that gets them the win here. That's going to be Brudge being able to take down one. He's looking for a couple of more. Armbar is going to be the one to take down Northern Breeze. Positions are going to be strong, but Mackle's just not going to be able to run them down. Armpower, they kept the gate was so well, but they got all taken down in the process. There's no way that Armpower is going to be able to survive. The one squad on his left side, he needs to take them down. There's no way he gets out of this alive. He's going to get taken down as well. And with that, it's going to be back for Mercy being able to not only shut down Armpower, but also the side of Team Mackle. They're now on the cards for taking number one away from Ankita as well.
Yeah, but where is Team Ankita? We haven't seen them at all in this entire game. There's only 4 squads left. And
Alive? I don't think so.
are they? I mean, I'm starting to lose track over here, but Beck for Mercy definitely will be very happy with his performance so far. His team already has a bunch of kills. Sure, they can't recover the Captain Mercy anymore, but Fat Monster and Axpac themselves are enough to carry the name forward and carry the legacy forward. Keep in mind that these guys represented the country in the recent ALGS, so that's massive.
Conditions are going to be strong though, but Back for Mercy. It's now time for them to try and find something here. Fat Monster is the kill leader with 5 kills, so you can see that this game, when it comes down to kill distribution, has been very spread out. There's not a single player that has like above 10 kills, someone has 8, someone has 13. It's not like that. They're all spread out amongst all the players. No, Hydraflick and his squad, they're still alive. But no. Team Ankita, they're still alive. They're in the center. They're inside of Lava Siphon.
Yeah, I mean...
They're on the tower. They're just chilling there. They're taking a fight against TBone. Yeah, TBone, they have nothing. They're probably gone now.
TBone's team trying to make the push towards the thermal station, but Ankita's team on top definitely has one of the better positions over here. And at the same time, you've got Team Beck for Mercy on the other side, on the right-hand side of thermal station, which means they need to make a crossing. They should be able to do so with the jump pads available that Axpac has. And while all of this is happening, Beg for mercy. They're starting to hear the gunshots. They might just start fighting Team TBone right now, and they're above them. So the high ground position will leave TBone defenseless. The only person who can stop Beg for mercy is basically Team Ankita, nobody else. Axpac takes a couple of pot shots and decides to fall back instead. So now they have information on one team. They need the information on the others. Where do they find them?
Positions are just gonna be good. Thermal station is a pretty good spot and a very good circle to say the very least. You can have a lot of different avenues to try and go in for pushes. You can slow down, you can take fights, and you can have a chance to try and survive. But Team Ankita, they're not gonna be giving anything away. They take down official Rat as well, and TBone and his squad, they're in the worst possible spot. They have nowhere to go. They get taken out as well, and with that, the rank takes down the last player from the side of TBone and his squad. One's right below them though, and Team Ankita, they know that one squad is right under them, but they don't want to take that fight. A couple cheeky angles from the side of Lixa. Be able to take a couple of pop shots, but that's the only thing that he's gonna get. But with the circle now closing on down in, Team Beck for Mercy, they need to get themselves into a better position. They need to get themselves into a better spot. As soon as they do get it though, they're gonna be able to catch up Team Ankita on the rotation. Even though they're on a 2 versus 3 situation, they still should be the ones to win out here. It's all about the positioning. It's not about the aim game here. Beck for Mercy, they need to make a decision.
Oh my god, look at the next ring. Half of it
I
is in the
know,
lava.
the lava,
Half of
yeah,
it
that's the
is
thing.
on the ground. And there's barely any room left to stand on. Beck for
They
Mercy
lost
is
the
going to have to make
position.
a massive jump. Yeah, they have lost the position. They'll have to go around the other side. And they
they're risking
reach.
it. Oh god, they're risking it. They're going around the T-bone's right under though. Oh wait,
Yeah.
they're just going back. Oh, what is happening?
Yeah, I was actually thinking that Axpac will deploy the jump pad and then cross over the lava pit, but then he just stimmed and went across, used the jump pad to come back instead of going towards them. This is very unique, but they have only 14 seconds left and they need to make a move. They need to either converge upon Team TBone or start fighting Team Ankita, or hope that TBone and Ankita start fighting each other and then they be the ones who third party everyone else.
Is gonna be able to top a Phoenix and he's gonna be the one to try and survive, but with 3 spots remaining, no one's really going in for pushes. The circle is still quite massive for 3 squads, but at the same time, the last circle is not that good, man. Being on thermal station, you are in the worst possible situation. Enemy team has a Valkyrie as well, so they can go in for possible rotations to work with, but Beck for Mercy, yeah, I don't like that spot, man. This is probably the worst position you can be in. You can get shot from like 3 different angles and there is no cover whatsoever. This is what I was saying. It's all about the position game. Just miss out on the positioning there. That's going to hurt them quite a lot, but they're still going to be able to survive. Hard reflect on the back end. They're the ones who's trying to go in for the win. They're the ones who survived up till the very end now. But to go up against the juggernauts of Team Ankita, I don't think they're going to be able to do it easily. Oh, look at the grenades. Oh my god, that's a lot of grenades.
This is
Throw
the
the kitchen sink at
bombardment.
them. Throw the kitchen sink at them as well.
Well, I don't know about the kitchen sink, but they're definitely throwing high terminal velocities at them. Tuesday is really good for this fancy footwork for Startup Guy. Now the only guy left. He needs to run away. Unfortunately, doesn't have enough time to heal. With the alternate, they should be able to win the duel against Begum, but Begum is a bit too healthy at this point. And Ankita's team takes the dub.
That ended very anticlimactically, but at the same time, it's a lot of high octane actions. I don't know, man. It feels like we had such incredible fights right off the get-go. The mid rounds were so beautiful. The late game was so clean as well. And then suddenly, right at the very end, the last squad, tiny bit anticlimactic. But hey, it's Apex. It sometimes does go like that. You know, congratulations to Society Team.
Yeah, they were already on the #1 spot, and with this second win, they should be able to, reinforce their positions even further. It's actually very surprising how Mercy was able to survive for so long. Yeah, sure, they made one tiny wrong rotation towards that little cart on top over there, and at
Yeah.
that point, that cable car, it turns into a coffin of sorts because it's so out in the open and everyone can shoot you down. So that was the end of Team Mercy. But hey, them getting into the top 3 spot, considering in such a difficult position they were, yeah, I think I'm still pretty proud of them. Even T-Bone's team, for that matter, Thermal Station is a very tricky place to navigate, and the fact that they were able to find themselves in the top four by just positioning themselves, that is still pretty impressive. Sure, they might not have a lot of kills. They only had like what 3 kills, if I'm not wrong, but that should be enough to keep them afloat at least inside the top six.
Yeah, they're gonna be really happy about that at the bare minimum. But at the same time, Team Ankita, them being able to get so many kills and now get another win for themselves. I don't know, man. It feels like we're gonna be crowning the champions for day number one already. Them getting such a massive performance lead from their side this early on. It's gonna set the pace for a lot of the different fights that we're gonna be seeing moving on down the line as well. But we don't really know what to expect, not just yet here, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna be waiting out for the match highlights to get a breakdown of the game from top and all the way up to the very bottom here. But at the same time, I want your thoughts. Did you like the pacing of this matchup here, Cribs? Because
Oh,
in my
definitely.
eyes, this was a perfect pacing. The game was really fast at the very beginning. Then it slowed down for just a couple of seconds. Players were looting, and then it picked up the pace slowly but surely. And right at the very end, it was slow once again. It's a perfect pacing, I would say, for a game of Apex for streamers in general, not for professional play. But it's working out really well for these players. They're able to take a lot of their fights on their own terms. And as we head on down over into the match highlights, you're going to be able to get a visual representation of this as well, ladies and gentlemen, because this is one of the best Apex games that we had throughout the day, primarily because it allowed the streamers to get a chance to breathe and also pull up a lot of incredible plays. But at the same time, the biggest question is what happened with that Swain.
Yeah,
One
that was
guy took out everyone. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that was Bloodline himself, the captain stepping up for the team as he eliminates Team Sway inside of Lava City. And then we also had an unfortunate incident with Team RakaZone inside of Outlook, but of course, this whole Mackle versus Sick Warrior incident outside the zone was a little bit uncomfortable to digest. 8-Bit Mercy, now his team, this was one team which did not stick around inside the zone for too long. Mackle's team, obviously, they made the rotation inside the circle later on, but then it was a bit too late, and at that point, Team Ampawa had the perfect position on them. So Ampawa was able to go outside while they were busy fighting someone else, and basically get the jump on them. Of course, Ampawa was not free of trouble the moment they tried to fall back after eliminating Team Sick Warrior. Mackle's team, they exacted revenge, at least they tried to. Ampawa was able to win against Mackle, but Beg for Mercy then went around the tunnel of the other side and was able to stop them before they reached the edge.
Yeah, the positions were just way too good from their side. They're gonna be the ones to survive. They're gonna be the ones to go with the kills. And in this situation, what do you do here? Not much. Hydroflake, they tried their hardest. They tried to survive up till the very end, but the team playing coordination, it just wasn't there. Startup guy was at 1 HP, even though he had an alternator in his hand. It's just not going to be enough to take down Begum. He had more HP. He had all of the advantages in the entire world. And I do believe that Team Hydroflake, they should have gone in for the push a little bit earlier when Beg for Mercy already was popping them with a couple of bullets, or when the side of Team Angata was going up against the side of TBone. But it just was not there. Small mistakes here and there are costing them so much here. They were able to do a lot, but unfortunately, they were just not able to make the cut here for this initial map here, ladies and gentlemen. But at the same time, I do believe that Hydroflake, he can pat his team on the back and be like, hey guys, we got the third position. Sorry, we got the second position, and we are going to get a couple of placement points at the bare minimum to work with to try and keep ourselves afloat on the point standings to try and see if we can get ourselves possibly to that fifth, fourth position. But at the same time here, Grips, I don't think it's going to be easy because the fifth, fourth, and third positions are so highly contested for us, especially when it comes down to the terms of the points. Players are just moving up and down constantly. And now the Team Ankita have gotten their second win in a row. I don't know, man. I think that they're going to be shooting up so high on the number one position, it could be unreachable, especially considering how lackluster the performance have been from the side of Team Mackle. And it's not to say that they're performing badly. They're able to hit incredible shots, but their positioning wise, they're getting third parties constantly that they're not able to do anything. They take down one squad, and then another squad comes around the corner and kills them before they can even take a breath.
Yeah, and usually that squad happens to be either Sick Warrior or Beg for Mercy.
Yep.
All these teams are basically paying spoil sport for Team Mackle, so it's a little bit unfortunate. I mean, this was to be expected. They had a target painted on their back at one point, but then so does Ankita's team. Unfortunately, even with the
They're under the
target
radar.
on their backs, they are able to don it. They're able to flaunt it, and they are still very strong. Let's take a look at the standings and see how many points was Ankita able to get exactly. Oh, not that much this time around. Huh? We are not at all close to a 30 bomb. 8 kills, still pretty humble, still pretty nice, but Mackle's team has 10 points of just kills. That also is pretty impressive.
The Mackle, they're able to do a lot when it comes down to the kill points. So in a way, they're able to try and pull away from losses that they had. They're going to be in the running still for the side of number one, but Back for Mercy, they're getting closer and closer to Team Anketa. If Team Anketa didn't get that 20 points, they would have been in a lot of trouble, that is for sure, because Back for Mercy, they're right on their tails. So in a way, I would say the number one spot is highly contested for by Team Anketa, Back for Mercy, and Team Mackle, but now Hydroflick, they did get 10 points to work with. So in a way, they are going to be able to survive, but not that much. Arm Power Gaming also getting 10 points. They were a literal juggernaut throughout this entire game. They were able to take on multiple different high caliber squads, but at the same time, they just got caught between a rock and a hard place themselves. They got third party trying to run away. They got taken out as well. Sick Warriors as well. They played their cards properly, but in a way their positioning was just not as strong, because when you're inside of the zone for that long, you're not going to be able to play for a proper position. You're not going to be able to choose your fights. In a way, I understand. They are the zone warriors. They like to play inside of the zones. They wanted to go in for kills. That's why you normally will want to play inside of the zone, because when you're playing inside of the zone, you're going to be able to catch out players who are opting to go in for rotations. If they're rotating late, you're going to get a couple of free easy kills for yourself while fighting inside of the zone. That's one of the main reasons why you want to be there, if you want kill points. But at the same time, it's really dangerous because you're giving up placement points for kill points. And in this situation, Team Mackle did exactly that. They got a lot of kill points, but it just did not happen when it came down to placement. So moving on down the line here, ladies and gentlemen, let's go on down to the overall. The overalls have not yet been prepped up, so we're just going to wait for just a little while longer on that. But Grips, give me your thoughts on the point systems this time.
Well, I can certainly say that the other mathematicians are not as fast as you, so we'll have to wait a little bit for the overall standings. But hey, I am starting to feel a little concerned for Team Mackle right now. I mean, can they bounce back? They were at the top, but then if they keep on getting targeted like this, and if they keep on getting pushed into corners like this, I don't know if these corner rats will be able to fight back. I'm actually very happy for Team Hydroflick as well. Sure, they only had like one kill point, which is fine. They were able to get plenty of placement points with this win. And Ankita just keeps on shooting higher and higher. I mean, what kind of a lead will they build up at this point? I mean, they had a 5 point lead in the previous game, 50 points for them. And then I think Mackle was at 45 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And with this win, they have 20 more points, which means they touch the 70 barrier.
Yep. They're at the 70, and they could just be the one to take it all over to 100 already. Hey, I'm still hoping for that 30-point game, and maybe Team Ankita, they're going to pull it off. Game number 5, last game of the day, try and finish it all off with a bang. Try and show the other teams exactly what you need to reach for on day number 2. But hey, if Team Ankita do get that 30-point game, I think that no one's going to be touching them for a pretty long time, even on day number 2. Like, I still remember Team Phoenix on the Rise of Legion game. They somehow stayed in the top 8. Like, nobody knows. They didn't even play the game on day number 5, and they still somehow got it.
Exactly. That happened during the Rise of Legion tournament last time around. But then that was a very rare circumstance, right? They started at the number 1 spot, they didn't play, and they had enough points to sustain themselves in the top 6. That probably might be Team Ankita tomorrow. Of course, I do hope that they still play because they are shooting up the entire server and they've been very entertaining to watch so far. But so far, the most entertaining teams, in my opinion, have been obviously Mackle, Ankita, Beg for Mercy, and sometimes Team Sick Warrior, because they don't get a lot of points, but then Team Sick Warrior, they pick up all these fights and they basically spoil the game for all the other teams who are trying to just peacefully move into the zone, and they wake up and choose violence. So that also is pretty entertaining.
Yeah, Sick Warriors, they're doing a lot to try and take control over the entire map. But at the same time, it's just not as we would have expected. I expect a little bit more control, a little bit more discipline coming on down to from the side of Team Mac. Let's say Warriors, because they're the ones who should be taking that involvement position away. Personally, in my eyes, Scripts, did you think that Team Angela would be the one to take so many wins consecutively? Honestly, tell me.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, I knew that it would either be her team or it would be probably Mackle's team. And Mackle's team has had a few wins, but they didn't do it one, they only had one win. They're yet to pick up their second one. And Ankita, sure, they were able to win 2 in a row, but let's be honest, they had great positioning as well.
Yep.
And they had the luxury and the time available to get into that position. Not always will they have the luxury of moving into that position when they want. Sometimes someone else will already occupy the good position. Sometimes they will be gate kept, and that hasn't happened just yet. But who knows what 5th game might hold for us. We're about to jump into the last game of the day, ladies and gentlemen, very soon. And before we jump into it, Aggressive, do you have any expectations?
In my eyes, I'm expecting game number 5 to be something really slow and topical. Personally, I believe that this should be the case here because now the teams know that Team Ankita, they're gonna take that number one position. They're going to have the biggest target. Team Mackle, they're also going to be playing it a lot more slower because if you lost out on two of your matches like this without getting any placement points, whatsoever, even though you got a lot of kill points, you're going to be playing a lot more tactical. You're going to be playing a lot more slower. You want to try and understand exactly where the zone is before trying to go in for engagements. That's why those towers, those beacons are so crucial to try and take control of. And the thing is, throughout this entire game, I haven't really seen a lot of the teams go after the beacons, and I'm really hoping that Team Mackle, they understand zone control is just as important as the kills now because they need placement points. They need those placement points to have a fighting chance on day number 2. Play it slow, play it smart. Now is the time. Initially, I always say, when it's game number 1, just run around, kill as many people as possible. Map number 2, map number 3, do as much damage as you possibly can. Get those kills, get yourself on the board. And now is the time to play it slow. 4 and 5 is where you take it slow, play for the placements, take the kills that you can get, and be consistent throughout these 2 games. If you're not showing consistency between the last 2 games now, you're not going to have a good time on day number 2. And I'm really hoping that Team Mackle and also Bet for Mercy, they understand that. Otherwise, they could just be taken down to not only the 5th and 6th spot or possibly the 7th and 8th, because the other squads, they're going to be a little bit dicey and they're going to be playing hella aggressive now because they have nothing to lose. They need to put themselves on the board. If they don't, day number 2 is not going to be good to them as well.
Oh, that's a little bit concerning now. One team that did have a decent enough position and a number of kills this time around was Arm Power, but that was like a one-off incident. They haven't been
Yeah.
consistent. Let's see if these teams will be consistent in the last game of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Game 5 is ready. The dropship is in the air, and very soon the players will be falling off to the ground and getting to their respective drop locations.
Yeah, the game is going to get prepped up and ready. We're loading on in here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm expecting the drops to be a little bit more systematic, or it could be the same exact drops that we saw previously. We don't know what to expect coming on down through from the rosters just yet. Maybe we're going to be seeing a couple of more players heading on down over towards Lava Siphon and try to take control of Fragment East and West. The main thing that I really want to highlight here is that no one's really playing inside the streamer building. The streamer building is like completely open, and these are all streamers, and no one's trying to take control of it. Like, come on, man. I want to see a couple of plays. Like, I've been watching Asu way too much, and he always goes to streamer building, and I personally love that building. And I'm trying to learn how to do zipline jumping, but it's still so difficult for me. I'm an OG player, and I still can't do it. And my brain is like, how do these guys make it look so easy? And I really want to see Prudge go over there and try to, pull up a couple of sick plays on his own board.
Yeah, these guys have been dropping into Fragment every now and then, but they haven't exactly been dropping inside that particular building. They stay towards the eastern side for the most part. They don't go towards that streamer building on the west. But either way, them being inside Fragment should be a pretty good deal for basically everyone, because them in the center, yeah, that's pretty nice, good rotations for them. Let's take a look at this. We have 2 teams heading towards not Lava Siphon, Lava Fissure. And this could be big.
Oh, wait, look at the teams, man. Oh my god, they're right next to one another.
Yeah, Skyhook is overpopulated. We have, I believe, Team Robo over there. Team RakaZone, just as always, picking up early game battles. Oh my god. Them and early game battles. It's like a toxic combination. They never get a game where they are basically uncontested. And this time it's Korn on the Cobbs. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any more Korn left on him. Everything's gonna be eaten if he starts losing his armor like that. Very smart move, faking that he jumped downstairs, but Raman and his teammates will now have a big responsibility to pull off. The Rampage not the best for up close battles, especially when you're burning in the caustic gas like that. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Raman down to the last 2 players. Can they revive their players? I don't think so. Gone on the cops. He tries to go for the shield swaps. Finally will be successful, but I hope he isn't a bit late to the party.
He's just not in a pretty good spot though, but he should be able to take down 1 player at the bare minimum. No effort to work with on Zan 301. Completely rely on his unlock. Unit 1's gonna be the one to get revived up soon enough. And the caustic gas is being placed. They're just trying to get as much in. Yeah, the smoke screen's gonna be there for the caustic gas, but it just comes out a little bit too late. And 1 unit YT is gonna get taken down, and he's gonna revive again and possibly get taken out as well almost immediately. 2 bullets on this G7 Scout. They need to run away. They cannot stay here at all. And RakaZone, they know. They need to run away. They have no bullets. They have nothing to try and take this fight with. They need to completely rely on their fisticuffs if they want to go in for something. A couple
Yeah.
bullets have been dropped, but in this situation, they're just not going to take any chances. Especially from the side of Raman.
The only thing they have is more men. That's it. And if they wait a little bit more, then Cobbs will be able to get his health back up. RakaZone's team is the one with the Cossack, so they have nothing to fear. And they're about to double peek him. One from the left, one from the right. The Mozambique slaps at this range. And look at them cracking everybody. They're all down to flesh. Ramachopra down. It's just Cobbs left. And he's going to run for his life. Probably trying to go for those fake drops once again. And there you go. Smoke's being popped. Will he be spotted, though?
Oh, he is dead. He's dead. RakaZone got the kill.
There you go. That's Team Raman out of the picture. And while I say that, even TBone's team is getting into a little bit of trouble. They have knocked out Tamim, but will they be able to find the remaining players, though?
Should not be happening in this case, but at the same time, hey, you know, 16K and her squad, they're looking for a couple of their own plays here. Team Mackle, the right on the other side. Northern Breeze is just gonna get bursted down. He gets lasered and he needs to run away from this. He cannot stay for long. But Sick Warrior and his squad, they're going in for their own fight. Who are they trying to take a fight against is the real question. The EVA 8 on this range is not as good, but hey, oh my god, Shiva just swings around the corner and just gives Deliverance a scare for his own life. Sick Warriors, they're gonna be able to finish everyone off. And oh no, don't do him like that. Come on. You can BM him with a normal F ability. Just execute him, but to try and kill him like that. Ouch.
Hours. See, now that was brutal. Poor Bangalore, poor Karnu. He got triple peaked by all the members of Team Sick Warrior, and they pounced upon him. Well, let's see if Team Mackle is able to survive this onslaught. They are up against a very deadly team, and them fighting Mount 16K right now, this could be big. Both of them down a man. 2 versus 2 situation, but Syria almost down. This turns it into a 1v2. Meow 16K, the captain, now has to step up for her team. If she's able to find at least one pick, this would be great, but both the members of Team Bloodline are on full HP, and Scorpion has purple shield, so he's a very, very tanky boy right now.
Yeah, he has nothing to worry about, especially on that rate. He can just get out of any sticky situation that he wants to. Swing around the corner is gonna be Meow. She's just not in the best possible spot. The shots are being taken, and with that, that's gonna be one kill coming on down already. It's gonna be Meow being able to see that kill down onto Axpax, and with Axpax going on down right now, Team Beck for Mercy, they're just not gonna be in a good spot. The shots are gonna be taken, and it is gonna be Genius taking a back seat here. He cannot run on away from this, not anymore. But with the scan coming on down through, it's just easy takings for the side of Team Bloodline. They know what to expect. They know exactly where the opposition's at. And Meow, she's gonna get shot from multiple different angles, but at the same time, Team Ankita, they're going in for their own fights. The shots are being taken. The positions are just gonna be as clean. But initially, I thought that this game was gonna be a lot more slower, but there are fights happening all across the map. Everyone landed on the same side of the snappier trips, and with that, it's just all about getting all the kills. And now, Arm Power, they get eliminated almost immediately.
Yeah, so that's Team Ankita eliminating Ampower. Meanwhile, Meow 16K and Bloodline, these guys are still going up against each other. No, wait! Bloodline is not up against Meow 16K. These guys might be up against a completely different opponent. And so far, Bloodline's team have the high ground, and they have a decent enough spread as well. Their opponents are all trapped inside one building, but Bloodline's backing away. They're going towards the other side of Geyser. Meanwhile, all the way up north, we have Sway going up against Hydroflick. Really good movement by a startup guy over there, trying to just juke around and heal himself while staying hidden from his opponents. But Krat is now up against him. They are the only ones. So this is Hydroflick versus TBone, and this could be big. Sway, they're also trying to make their way inside. So this is turned into a 3-way battle. But I think Sway's team can catch a break. They should be able to revive the captain. Oh, no. As soon as I say that, here comes Krat. And he's able to get the kill onto Paradox, turning it into a 1v1 once again. Is this a 1v1v1 right now? Because I know for a fact that Sway's team is down to their last member. So is Team TBone.
Oh, they're not looking.
And look at them.
You just get
They
away.
all
Just get out of
lost
this streamer building there, dude.
Just-
Oh, no.
This is ridiculous. How on earth is Sick Warrior over here? Out of all the people that we expected to third party, Sick Warrior is not a team that I saw coming into Skyhook. They were not even here to begin with. And now that you know, TBone's team has been taken care of. I wonder if Sick Warrior will hunt out the remaining players of Team Sway as well. I think both those teams are already out of the picture. So the Battle of Skyhook might be long over. Anyway, that area has been nullified by the ring. So all these teams need to start moving north. I'm sorry, they need to start moving south. My bad.
North and south, sometimes it's really confusing when it comes
Yeah,
down
I
to
mean,
games.
this
So,
guy is on my screen, so you can't really
Yeah.
blame me.
Let's explore this.
Yeah, that's true. But it's completely fine. Let's just wait and see. Harvester, though, is going to be one place that's going to be highly contested for. And hey, look at where Team Ankita are. They're not even going to go in for pushes. They're going to sit inside of Harvester, and the circle's going to come to them, and all the teams are going to be coming to them as well. But at the same time, Team Back for Mercy, they're right next to another squad. Who is that squad exactly? I can't see them. The names are overlapping. But this fight just be the make it or break it for the side of Team Back for Mercy. Is it
So
Bloodline?
I think it could be Bloodline.
Oh no, no,
I mean-
Bloodline's on the other side. Bloodline's on the other side.
Are they? Okay. All right. Well, I mean, they both were in guys that at one point, so could be the case. Yep, you're right.
it's
Team
Mackle.
Bloodline is now starting to move in towards Lava Siphon.
I think
We have
it's
Team
Mackle.
Mercy. They're trying to take the northern rotation and they're trying to go above the Lava Siphon area, trying to enter from the Harvester side and smack in the center of Harvester. It's Team Ankita.
I think it's Team Mackle because considering the geographic area,
Yeah.
actually Team Mackle versus Back for Mercy. This is gonna be a huge fight. That's gonna be the first initial one. Mercy needs to take a backseat. He's just not gonna be able to survive. He's gonna be going in for his own engagement. He is not gonna let Mercy survive. Not this time. Making sure to finish the kill off no matter what happens here in this engagement.
Yeah,
That
but
is gonna be the first
But
kill.
the stronger players of Team Mercy are still alive. I mean, at this point, yeah, sure, the captain himself might be down, but there's other two people. They might just be able to exact revenge. Although it is a 2 versus 3 fight, so this will be a little difficult for Mercy's team. And now that they've been revealed, they will scan back. Both the teams know about each other's positions, and luckily for them, they won't get third-partied over here because this is way down south and just towards the edge of Fragment. So none of the teams are entering from the Fragment area. But when Mackle finds them, he's not going to let them go. He's trying to chase them down to the ends of the earth. Unfortunately, they don't have any jump pads available just yet, so chasing them will be a little bit of a problem, but they can still keep on following them. And, you know, then take the battle on their own comfortable terms.
And they have nothing to worry about now. They're just gonna slowly make the push happen. They're still just gonna be making their way up. And Team Mackle, yeah, it's just about cleanup duty. They know exactly where the two squads are gonna be at. Fudge, beautiful tracking from his part, man. He just doesn't miss, especially on these longer range fights. And I don't know how he doesn't. Oh my god.
Some really, really clean tracking, but then Mackle's team, they're starting to lose a little bit of steam, and they're chasing their opponents all the way towards the S compound, the S tunnel, and keep in mind that this is a little bit of a difficult spot, because you can always get third-partied over here. But while Mackle and Mercy are fighting each other, Sick Warrior has just managed to eliminate Harsh's team, so that's another team out of the picture, and we're down to the last 7. Northern Breeze, he gets the frag onto Fat Monster, the last opponent right behind this truck, and that's going to be the end of Axpack. Even Mercy's team is out, and Mackle's team, yeah, surely they must be happy after eliminating one of their strongest and most bitter rivals.
Yeah, they almost have nothing to worry about. They can just chill, they can just fight, but at the same time, what can we even expect coming on down from them here? Because Team Mackle, they are not in the best possible positions because yes, they are inside of the zone, but they're on the low ground. If any of the players coming down from inside of this, coming down from outside of the circle, start to see them here in this bad position, they're not going to be going for rotation immediately. They need to get out of here pronto, and they cannot stay inside of the tunnels. And this is really important. Staying inside of the S tunnels, yeah, you don't want to be there, especially after how you died in the last game.
Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be a little bit of PTSD for them. Back for Mercy's team was the one that killed them last time, and then Team Sick Warrior came in and made things even worse. But at this point, let's take a look.
Well, they're
The
taking a
next...
fight against them.
Oh, okay, this could be big. The next ring is going to basically screw out a lot of teams. There's a little bit of Lava Siphon still left in the circle, but will it be there in the next ring? No, Lava Siphon's out, which means Team Bloodline will have to move inside. And Ankita's team is in the perfect position. They have the high ground on top of Harvester.
Yeah, Team Bloodline, they're gonna be, sorry, Team Sick Warriors, they're gonna be the ones to spot out Dr. Evil. And with that, that's going to be another kill for them. They're not going to be able to survive for long. And Team Sway, they need to take a back seat. There's nothing that they can do here. They get taken out. And with that, no more placement points for them as well. They're going to get done and dusted for day number 1 here. It's just about taking a backseat and watching these teams go up against one another. Sick Warriors, though, in the other hand, they actually have a pretty good position. They are inside of the circle. They have nothing to worry about. But the question here, Crips, is that are they inside a good circle or are they inside of a bad circle? You'll see soon enough in a matter of 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Definitely. I mean, at least they're in a position from where they can pick up the fights at their own whim and mercy. They're just clearing out this entire rock cliff and going around all the sides to make sure that there are some staggering players. Whoever there is, they will be taken care of. And they've scanned one team. There you go. Beats of the Hunt activated by Sick Warrior. Revenant Ultimate also coming online. And very soon the jump pad will be thrown. Here comes the first layer of push. And Shiva, Sick Warrior, all of them moving down. 2 players have already been sent back. So this Revenant Ultimate is being dealt with pretty nicely. But unfortunately, they've dealt enough damage, so they won't even bother healing up, and they just go in for the kill straight up. Oh, this Cossack Utility. Very, very useful in close quarter situations like this, especially when the battlefield is so tiny inside this little tunnel. But RakaZone's team is on the ground, and that's going to be the end.
Yeah, it's just about time to lie over and play dead. It's going to be Sick Warriors being able to get such a beautiful push down from their side. I honestly thought that, hey, with the Rev Ultimate already taken down, maybe Sick Warriors, they're not going to go in for a push. They're just going to chill. They're just going to run on away. But that just wasn't the case here. With that, Team Ankita, though, they're getting called out by another squad. Who's the other squad trying to go up against them? It's going to be the 2 Bloodhounds. One is staring at the other one at a little bit of a teabag engagement. They're like doing a friendship dance to each other, being like, you're my friend now. We're going to stay together.
Uh-oh. Bloodline now starting to fight against Team Sick Warrior in the very edge of the compound. Not even a compound, this is the one little tiny tunnel. Yeah, at the edge of the circle. And this is the same place where they were able to eliminate the previous team, but now they have no Revenant Ultimate available. So they're just up against Bloodline raw with just their shields. And that's it. Team Sick Warrior has also been eliminated. Last 3 teams remaining. Ankita's team safely inside of Harvester. Bloodline on the very edge of the circle. And the 3rd team is the only one remaining. I'm assuming they're coming in from the Lava Siphon area, so they'll be coming from down south. And they've been scanned.
Team Ankita, they've been sitting here for so long. I think they went here at the very start of the game and they're still here. They have not left this one building for pretty much the rest of the game. And hey, they didn't even need to. Just tell a couple of campfire stories, just chill here, just wait for the other squads to make their own mistakes and then slowly but surely pick up your own pace and then go in for the kills because they don't need to get kill points here. They understand. Just play for the placements, play it slow, play it smart, and they're still going to be the ones to win everything out. They have a lot of points to work with, but at the same time, Team Mackle, they need to be the ones who need to go in for the push here. They are in the same building as the side of Team Ankita, but they're in a little bit of a low ground. They need to be careful, but at the same time, Team Bloodline, they did lose out on one of their players, and they're stuck in a 2 versus 3 versus 3 situation. If they want to take this win, they need to go for this 3rd party very smartly. If they try to overrush themselves, if they try and go a little bit too early in for an engagement, it could cost them the entire game here and also cost them a lot of placement points as well.
Let's go over here.
Well, they didn't lose their play. It's a 3v3.
Right.
Yeah. So we got a little bamboozled, but hey, now all the 3 teams know about each other's position. Mackle has just spotted out Ankita's lair, and they know that they're on the high ground over there. Mackle's team also takes the high ground position, so now they can just meet each other in the center and fire it out. Bloodline trying to make their way towards Harvester. They at least reach one of the legs, but Sneeze, he's still back there, and he's going around the other side of that little rock formation. Okay, interesting moves by Team Bloodline.
Ooh, good shot.
They're going to be taking pot shots from far away, so their position is no longer a secret, but they're fighting Team Ankita. I just hope that they are wary about the position of Team Mackle as well. Take a look at what Sneeze is doing. He's going to stay outside the zone deliberately for now, and he'll be providing overwatch from behind. Meanwhile, they're trying to scan the ring and trying to take preemptive positions for the next ring as well. Ring 5 is going to be too small for comfort, but hey, at least having a little bit of information will help them pre-plan their rotation path.
I don't know what to expect here. The circle's gonna be coming on down to them, but considering everyone's position, they don't even need to go in for pushes. A couple of options being given. They just need to poke as much as they possibly can. The more poke that they get, the more resources that they waste, the better they're gonna be moving on down the line when the circles get even more tinier shots are gonna get taken. Mackle's gonna be able to do a good chunk of damage. That's gonna force out a shield battery. And you don't want to force out shield batteries this early on in an engagement, especially when the circle is this small. It's all about surviving. It's all about trying to keep as many resources as possible alive for your end as you try and go in for the engagement right at the very start, right at the very end of the fight. But I'm not being able to find it here, Crips. It's very slow. It's very systematic. Sonars are just being given. They're getting information, but the thing is, nothing's gonna happen until like what the 12 until the last circle just comes in. No one's gonna push.
Yeah.
They're all just gonna chill.
But aggressive. Bloodline's team just got the advantage. The circle moves towards them and they can continue holding where they are. And from this position, nobody can assault them on the high ground. They're gonna have to go below them and then come above, unless they're able to jump and push on them. So both Team Mackle and Team Ankita will have to move towards Bloodline and they can just hold their ground. They just need to be like an iron fortress right now.
This is bad. This is really, really, really bad. But at the same time, Proj, I like your antsy, my dude. This guy has been chilling inside of that building for way too long. He's literally staring at Team Ankita, being like, I'm gonna be coming for you really soon. But
Yeah.
Bloodline, they know. They're just gonna need to wait. If they wait there, they have nothing to worry about. And now Team Mackle, they're in the worst possible position that they could ever be in. It's time to leave that position alone. It's time to get out of this, go around for wraparound play, and play on the low ground. It's better to play on the low ground in this situation than try and fight for the high ground against the side of Team Bloodline. Because if Team Bloodline, if they want to go in for a push, allow them to go in for a push. You have nothing to worry about. You can easily hold that spot because Team Ankita is right on the other side. Team Ankita takes the engagement against Bloodline, and then you're going to be the ones to come on down through as a third party and possibly take the both out in the process.
Exactly. Ankita's team is directly under Bloodline right now. They're inside the circle. They can just stay here. But in order to climb above, they're going to have to, take a lot of risk. Climbing upstairs is super dangerous. Of course, because of the animation, you can get easily shot down. So Bloodline's team is nice and safe. But then at the same time, we have Mackle's team. They moved around to the other side of this rock formation, and they are the ones who are taking pot shots against Team Bloodline right now. A single knock might just result in the victory of Team Ankita because they are underneath. And they are the more safe team right now.
So much of the resources from the side of Team Mackle are being wasted here. And I don't like this. Team Mackle, they have no way of winning this if this is what's happening to them. The resources are not that strong. The positions are just not that good. And where is the circle, man? The circle!
It's dead in the center. Dead in the center. And at this point, Mackle might just have a chance of winning because Ankita's team and Bloodline will have to leave their spots sooner than Team Mackle.
So
they have a little more room.
This is so beautiful. Team Mackle, they have everything on their side. Apex gods are on their side here. And Cribs, this is an engagement that we really need to see. Both three of these teams, are just playing this so tactically. And Team Mackle, they're able to log out on this one for just a little while longer. But not for too long though, because Team Ankita and Team Bloodline, they're right next to one another. They need to go in for a push soon enough. It's 10 seconds left on the clock, and I think you can count it down. Just as the timer's growing bigger, it's 7 seconds left. They need to go in for it. Sonar's gonna detect them as well, and with the push coming on down soon enough, they're right at the edge of the circle. They need to push out, and Team Mackle, they're hungry for it. Let the wolves out. The hounds are gonna be coming on down through as well. They need to go in for something, and Begum, just open the door, man. Just do it, man.
Okay. I think I know.
Are they actually gonna do this?
They might just try and go for a little bit of a heal battle thing. They can just stay inside that teleporter.
Oh, they're going.
And then move for it. No, wait. They're actually placing the portal right outside. But there's so much room in here that they can just keep on teleporting back and forth and they'll avoid most of the ring damage. And then maybe move in later on at the very end of it all. And there you go. The first blood has been drawn. Mackle falls to the ground. This is their cue to start moving in. I don't think there's any time left for revival right now, but they're going to try and stick it anyway. More thermite grenades to hold the members of Team Mackle back and buy them a little bit of safe space. But I don't think any space is safe right now. Bloodline taking a little bit more damage. Both of them trying to go up for the shields. But there you go. The knock comes through. And as soon as Mackle gets revived, he's going to be knocked down once again. He's been finished off too. So now it's a 2v3v3. And Bloodline taking way too much damage. Ankita's team, meanwhile, still chilling inside their own teleporters. The moment they try to move inside, here comes Flexi. And he's the one who makes that first move. Bloodline on top. They spotted out Ankita, but the circle is going to force them outside on top. There's so many things happening at the same time, but this Gibby bubble might just buy them a little bit more space. Scorpion
They're taking a
still
ton of
trying to
damage.
hide. Yeah, I mean, the tunnel might just keep them safe, but Scorpion, where does he go right now? He's just using his own teammates' knockdown shield as cover, but he won't be able to use it for too long, and Ankita is able to win 3 wins in a row. 3 games back to back to back, and they are undeniably the champions right now.
How in the hell did the side of Team Rocket
We
win?
have our Apex champions.
There is no way they should have won this whatsoever. The positions were really bad. Mackle had the best possible positions, but they peeked out and then died out to one of the members of the side of Bloodline. There was no reason for them to peek there. They could have just waited, man. But one small mistake, one small unfortunate mistake just costing them this entire thing. That's going to be a heartbreaking loss for the side of Team Mackle here, ladies and gentlemen, and a heartbreaking loss for our side as well, because we expected them to take this win and we expected them to rise to the top once again. And Team Bloodline as well, they had also had such a good position, but they were just not able to go up against the side of Team Ankada, who had a lot more patience on their side. They waited they waited inside the snake tube. They waited for the first initial kill to come on down through from the side of Team Bloodline, knowing the tendencies of Team Mackle to go in over aggressive. They like to take a lot more peeks. They like to gather a little bit of information. But the fact is, going in for peeks like that against Bloodline just costed them their entire life. And that was a trigger. That was the first initial fuse that they needed to just be like, hey, it's time for the push. Go out, boys. And Team Ankita is like, oh, we hear a couple of bullets. We know for a fact the shield barriers are getting popped. We can head out ourselves. No one's going to be peeking us. Gibraltar shield on their side as well. Consider something. No one else had a Gibraltar. They had nothing to worry about. Place down that shield. Push yourself forward. You have the open ground in your favor. And in that situation, Team Mackle, they needed to make a choice. It's either stay behind that rock, revive their teammates, or try and go in for a fight and try and get as many kill points as possible. Team Mackle, they chose the kill points. They were able to deal the damage towards Bloodline. They took down one of the players. And Team Ankita, they came on down through as a cleanup team. And they took it all away in their favor. Beautifully done from their side. Well played from their end as well. They deserve this champion, but at the same time, the 3rd champion in a row.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's...
I take back everything that I said initially. Remember what I was saying? We're going to be crowding new champions every single game. I think that Team Ankita, they're like, nope, that's not going to happen aggressive. You got to settle down. You got to see exactly what we can do.
Exactly. And I loved each and everything that they did. First of all, the tunnel plays to make sure that they don't tank too much ring damage. That was brilliant. They, utilized most of it. They were just spinning around in the same place, trying to just keep the tunnel, chained up. And then they placed the edge of it on the rock formation, very close to where Team Mackle were. So that was like a backup option for them, right? In case shit goes wrong, they can just keep teleporting back and forth and avoid the ring damage as much as they can. And then, of course, the moment they opened the door and stepped out of their little hiding hole, they popped that bubble so that Team Bloodline can't shoot them from above. Mackle can't take pot shots even if they wanted to. And that bought them a little bit more space to inch forward. Of course, Bloodline had to leave their high ground as well and drop down. But the moment they dropped down at the ground, the moment their boots touched the ground, they were completely destroyed.
Yeah, let's head on down over into the match highlights, ladies and gentlemen. See exactly how this entire game did play out. A very intense 3 versus 3 situation right off the get-go. The 3 squads, they performed it beautifully, but at the same time, you have to take it towards the side of RakaZone to pull off an incredible start here, man. They're always the one at the start of the highlights. Tell me one time throughout this entire day they have not been on the highlights right off the get-go. They're always the one to either get taken out or they're always the ones to get the first initial kills. Beautifully done from their side, but at the same time, Sick Warriors, you have to commend them for their performance throughout the entirety of today. We didn't expect them to be a team that can take down a lot of the other juggernauts that we have here, but they've been performing so well throughout the entire day, and that just goes to show that if you give them enough time, they're going to be learning, they're going to be adapting, and they have adapted so beautifully. Being able to consistently now finish in the top 3 and the top 5 here, it's really good for them, but at the same time, the most consistency really did come on down through from the side of Team Ankita. They're patient, their slow strategic thinking got them the win here, and they deserve all of it. Being able to take 70 points, I do believe, possibly going on down over to a 90 if they did get 20 kill points here. Sorry, if they did get 20 placement points plus kill points here, could just be giving them the win and could just be giving them the best lead that they could ever hope for moving on down over onto day number 2.
Yeah, this is a rather dominating lead. I don't think it's going to be possible for any of these teams to catch up to them anytime soon. They'll probably need Team Ankita to just skip a couple of games, and then the other teams will have to have absolutely phenomenal ones if they want to have even the tiniest hope of catching up with them. But then Mackle's team continues to deliver. They might not have as many points as everyone else, but the way they were able to deal with Team Mercy this time, that's really commendable. Of course, Team Sick Warrior as well. They tried to go in for this isolated fight in between these canyons, in between these valleys, which should have been their win, and they were able to win that last fight. But then, of course, they were, at the end, third-partied by Team Bloodline, and they were the ones who took away the final win. Now, Bloodline's team had a great position too, but look at what happens the moment they tried to step downstairs. They were completely destroyed by the remaining members of Team Ankita, who were safe inside their bubble. And Mackle's team, yeah, sure, they tried to make some really cool moves. They tried to go for repositioning plays, which also was good. But unfortunately, they can't, deal with the overwhelming force of both Ankita and Bloodline shooting them at the same time. Because Ankita Bloodline, they were directly above each other, right? They can't shoot at each other. They can't even see each other until they exit their houses. Mackle, though, they're going to be facing the brunt of both these teams.
Yeah, they just got caught between a rock and a hard place, and there's nothing that they could have done there to try and survive. And that just goes to show the strength of Gibraltar. If you have Gibraltar on your side, you're going to be in a pretty good position, regardless of where you are at, for rotations or even for holding down certain positions. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, the match standings are ready. So let's head on down over into that and see exactly how the teams have performed throughout the entire day here for game number 5. And Team Ankita, they get 19 points. It's kind of expected because, come on, they did a lot here, but Sick Warriors, man, look at these guys. 5 and 13 kill points. They get 18 in total. They were tearing up the server when it comes down to kills.
Exactly. They were more aggressive than anyone else. And they stopped so many teams from entering. They did not even care about the positioning. At this point, they were just running around that one rock cliff right next to the Harvester area. And that's kind of like the one cliff that is towards the northwestern side, So if you're coming down from either the Village side or if you're coming down from Fragment, you will come across that area. And you can see that they didn't try to go inside the circle directly. They were just circling around. They were moving around and trying to find out where the enemy team is because they had a bloodhound, right? And they can probably sense where the enemy team was. So they basically traced their footsteps towards them. And the moment the scam came through, they found out exactly where their opponents are. Revenant ultimate activated, wipe out the team in a matter of seconds, and they're able to get all these kills like that. Now, it was a little unfortunate that Bloodline was able to win against Sick Warrior later on, but then you can't really blame them too much. Bloodline's team was the one team that came in for the fourth party action, so they had the fresher resources, fresh armor, and Sick Warrior was still reeling from the losses and licking their wounds.
Yeah, in this situation, how much more can you do here, team? Sick Warriors, they tried, but they got caught between a rock and a hard place, especially when you consider the situation that they were in. Consider something here, Crips. They were literally stuck on a single canyon. There was no way for them to get out of that, and another third party just came in and took them out. That's kind of one of those things. Like, if you want to push a team who have been holding the edge of the circle on a very narrow canyon, yeah, you got that kill, but you made so much noise that there's probably another squad who can push you in the exact same way. And in this situation, Sick Warriors, they had the better spots, they had the more kills, points to try and survive any of it. And hey, ladies and gentlemen, the overall standings are ready. So let's see how we are going to be looking at for the day 1 standings in general to see where these teams are going to be finishing off on day number 1 to try and head on down over on to day number 2. And right off the get-go, Team Ankita, they're able to take 89 points, but at the same time, Team Mackle, they have 34 and 37. They have 71. They're right behind the tails of Team Ankita. They don't have a strong lead here, Chris. The number 1 spot is up for grabs.
Number 1 spot definitely up for grabs as Mackle continues to chase Ankita. They don't let them get too far away. Sure, Ankita's team might have the lead today, but they may or may not have it tomorrow because Mackle and Mercy are both hot on their heels. Mercy, not so much. They're still reeling from their losses. Unfortunately, the last 2 games of the day were not that good for them. So they're still at 57 points. But then Bloodline and Sick Warrior are tied up.
At this stage, Bloodline there really close with Sick Warriors. Anything is possible here. And honestly, I will say that the number 1 spot is still up for grabs. There is nothing to really worry about. Consider the overarching storyline here. Yeah, Team Ankita, they have 89 points. Yeah, what do you do? But now, how much of a difference is that compared to 2, 3, 4, and 5? Not much. Maybe just 1 or 2 games. one or two games, if Team Ankita, they're not able to perform in D number 2 as they have in D number 1, they drop the position immediately. It's all about consistency. That's the thing about Battle Royale games in general. Whenever you play a tournament, it is about the consistency. One pop-off game is not going to take you to the very top unless it's like the game number 5, game number 4, where you just pop the hell off, getting like 30 points consistently through the 4th game and the 5th game. That's when you shoot up in the rankings. So you need to show a lot of consistency throughout day number 1 and also in day number 2 right off the very beginning. If you have a consistent game on game number 1, game number 2, game number 3 for day number 2, then you can take a deep breath, then you can rest easy and know that no one's going to be testing you for your number 1 position. But Team Ankita, they don't have that luxury. 89 points versus 49, it's not so much. Consider something, it's how many? 39 points or 2 games? They should be able to get it.
Don't ask me math questions, but 40 points over 2 games still seems a little difficult. I mean, you'll have to hit 20 bombs in
2020.
both those games.
Yeah,
So,
2020, it's not that uncommon. You can't get.
yeah, but then you'll have to be the best team in the server in that game for that. I mean, considering how things have been turning for these teams, you can't really guarantee that. There will always be someone or the other who comes in to spoil the game for you. This time, we saw Team Sick Warrior trying to spoil the game for a lot of other teams. Even Arm Power, to some extent, came in and just absolutely ruined the day for some of these people. Beg for Mercy was one of those teams. They were having their game spoiled by Sick Warrior and Arm Power. That's what happened in game 4 against them. So that's why they fell back a little. But other than that, I think Team Beg for Mercy was able to give Ankita and Team Mackle a decent run for their money.
I completely agree with you there. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we have for you for day number 1, an intense set of 5 games. And honestly speaking, I'm really surprised. I thought that Team Mackle, they're going to be the number 1, but hey, Team Ankita, they came out of absolutely nowhere. Did have 1-2 uppercut punch towards the side of Team Mackle, took them out, sent them back home, and took the number 1 position for themselves to end day number 1 off with a bang. Team Beg for Mercy as well, they're right on their heels, so we don't know who to crown as the number 1 just yet. At day number 2, I personally believe it's just going to be as exciting as day number 1. But before we do sign on off here, I would like to thank the side of LG Ultragear for sponsoring this entire thing, because if it wasn't for them, you would have not been seeing all of these jazz in front of your screens, and also not the monitor that I have right now, because LG Ultragear monitors, my man, it's the best things that you can ever get. Beautiful 144 Hz displays with GTG 1MS. It's not going to get better than that. If you want to play Apex as well, get yourself an LG Ultragear monitor, because they're going to be the things that gives you the best possible tracking that you can ever get when it comes down to motion blur as well. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be all that we have here for today. It's going to be your boy Aggressive, joined by Chris, signing on off. And we're going to be seeing you tomorrow with the LG Ultragear Shreeman Invitational. See you then.